All right, welcome to the Sae Bae cast number 204 with Creel and Friend. Creel and Friend, how you guys doing? I guess I don't know, do I call you Greg or Friend? I feel like Greg
I
sounds,
think I think Greg is good mainly because it doesn't happen much anymore, but a lot of people do confuse me for a friend,
yeah.
You're
Yeah.
Lithuanian
not a
versus
friend?
American guy. No, I'm not. Um, Greg is good for this, yeah.
We've just lost half the audience because everyone thought it was a friend that just came on. They're
Sorry,
The
disappointed.
guys.
amount of clicks that you're going to get, what? You need to just put Dodus's RuneScape character as the thumbnail.
Oh my god, that would be great actually.
It would
No.
work.
But yeah, how we gentlemen doing today?
Doing pretty good. So I'm Creel, and I am the fifth Ironman that reached all pets last month. I'm currently working on completionism type of account build right now, and just hanging out and waiting for new updates.
Hell yeah. Big GZ. I said this before the recording. Of course, big fucking GZ. That's actually one of those accomplishments that, and we'll jump into it. But beforehand,
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask Greg how he's doing and what his account's like. But all pets on an Iron Man is something else. Like that's something special. So yeah, huge grats on that. That takes a lot of dedication long term. So pretty fucking huge. Greg, how are we doing? And I guess a little bio of you.
Yeah, I'm doing good. My name is Greg or Friend. I'm also a completionist, very much like Creel. A little bit behind him in the pets department, but I am focused on completing a majority of the collection log. We'll talk about it more later, but yeah, we're very much the same in our account progress.
Nice. Okay, let's just. I want to start the ball rolling with just the whole pets discussion, where you guys are with just your thoughts on the pet system. You know how many pets there are in the game at this point. What your thoughts are on like transmogs, for example. What your thoughts are on adding pets to old content. This has always been a discussion, like pest control pet or some Barrows pet or something. But
Mhm.
how many hours do you guys know the calcs of just for like the average player or even like the casual player but has no idea what this actually means to get all pets on an iron? How many hours is it on average to efficiently grind all pets on an iron currently?
So Petcord they're constantly updating the calculator on the efficient amount of hours it takes to get a certain pet, and that's constantly updating. You can actually go on Temple, and then they have a little section for pets in your tab, and it can show you how many hours you're currently at with the pets you have. I think right now they're upping the amount of pets from 20 to 30 you need to have so you're actually on the leaderboards. But yeah, I think right now it's about 5,500 efficient hours for all pets. I think that's what it was last time I checked on it.
And did you go lucky or dry? That's always the question.
Well, honestly, lucky. It's, the main thing about pet hunting is you want to get lucky on the awful pets, and you want to go unlucky on the not so bad pets. So, I mean, I went over three times rate for two pets, and that was Moxie and Cerberus, which is a fantastic two to go dry on because you just get so many kills an hour.
Yeah.
And then I went extremely lucky on all the. I didn't go overrate for any God Wars dungeon pet. Um, I got under 200 gambles for uh, the Penance Queen. I think about 250 Master Clues for Bloodhound. So overall, I would say my account was just cultivated to have extremely good pet luck, which is very fortunate, especially for Iron Man, because some of those pets are just a dread to go for, especially Master Clue with Bloodhound. Because I don't know if anyone's seen Scott VC.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's over 2x the rate, and he is doing like insane amount of hours daily just to get Master Clues. Feel
He
bad for him.
he's a fucking beast. He's one of like the he's it's crazy because I remember Scott VC like years back. You know, he was watching my stream. He didn't have any mega rares yet. He was just kind of building up his Iron Man, and now he's
Yeah,
one of like the top grinders, just fucking beasting. And
Yeah.
he
he's
is.
getting
Yeah,
unlucky at places. I mean, seriously, I mean, just spending all that time grinding masters is I mean, you're just spending so much time you could be otherwise grinding other like easy pets and stuff. So yeah, it's crazy. So let's ask Greg. Greg, how many pets are you at right now, and have you had similar luck
Yeah,
so
so
far?
currently I'm at 50 pets. I got my 50th right before the new year, which was my goal for last year was to hit 50 pets. So I think like on the 27th or something of December, I got the 50th, which is pretty cool, kind of pretty close. But yeah, I'm happy with that. Regarding luck on the pets, it's been up and down. Penance Queen, Creel brought that up. I also got the pet like pretty much at the same KC as you. I got it like 200 KC,
Mhm.
so that's one of the big time saves. Bloodhound we were just talking about with Scott VC. Funny enough, we both did a lot of Callisto together. That's the best way to get elite clues on an Ironman right now. And I just finished up my Bloodhound grind. It was like, I think 4 to 5 months of just straight grinding Callisto. And I finished it like 1600 Master Clues. So did not get lucky on that one. It took up pretty much a third of my year just going for one pet. So yeah, that's a big time loss there. But I got pretty lucky on a couple other pets. Some God War stuff. I got all the DKs under the raid too. Those 1 in 5K pets are pretty rough. So I'm glad I got those. Um, but for the pets I have currently remaining, a couple bad ones. I have Corp remaining. If
Ooh.
you go 3 to 4 times the rate of that, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, I think you guys both know
Yeah,
Ginny, and
yeah.
Iron Man with all pets. Yeah, he went like 19K for the Corp
Fucking
pet.
A. Oh
Um,
god. How many hours is that? And this was before all the nice. I mean, he probably had a little bit of the nice luxury changes, but actually, I know he grinded a lot of like alt corp as well early on, so he took advantage of that. I think briefly before it
Mhm.
got
oh,
nerfed.
really?
I think
Uh,
so. I'm almost certain. At least when he was in my stream back when that was a thing, he was. I was like an active proponent on like nerfing corp alting. People had a problem with that. Me going out of my way to discuss that, and I know Ginny was like, "Shut up, shut up."
don't nerf my method, man.
Yeah. But yeah. So wait, Ginny does have all pets. What number was he? You said,
He was fourth.
okay,
Yeah, he got it a couple months ago with the court pet always being last one. But
nice.
yeah, 19,000's an insane amount. But I don't know if you've seen his log. It was a very nice log to look at with the amount of Ellie's he had and all the other sigils.
Oh yeah. Wait, how
Which
many
is
alloys do you recall?
I had the screenshot. I know I posted it somewhere. If I could find it, I'll link it.
That is pretty nice. Yeah, my pet luck on Sae Bae was actually quite decent, although I never was a pet grinder. Like I was never going for all pets. It was just
Mhm.
more of a passive thing. Did you? Let me ask you both: is pet hunting, was that something that you just easily found enjoyable? Like just like this is what I want to do, and it was just a nice experience for you, or was it really like a challenge? I mean, I know Greg, you're not finished yet, but like, do you find it fulfilling, or is it one of those things where like you're doing, and you're like, holy shit, is this ever gonna end?
For me, yeah, I find it very fulfilling. Whenever I see the collection log item go up by one, I get huge dopamine. So, yeah, I'm super happy to get pets. I'm at the stage where it's becoming a lot more challenging. I think like the first like 30 or pets or something like that, they kind of just come passively. Like
Yeah,
when you start doing new content, you're going for items on an Iron Man, they just kind of happen if you get lucky. But I'm at the stage where I'm like potentially grinding like Zuck off task and like Arma off task. So it's getting more challenging, but I know it's going to be super rewarding when it's done.
yeah. Uh, Creel, what about you?
So the earliest pet I can remember was the very first pet I got, and it was like the Kraken pet at like 100 KC. I remember I was in my dorm room freshman year on my laptop just killing Kraken back in like 2018, 2017. And when I got the pet, I was like, holy, that is like the coolest thing ever. I've got a little Kraken just following me around. And no one had all pets at that time. I was thinking to myself, yeah, I think I actually want to go for all pets. Little did I know how daunting that it actually is in the long run. But I do remember getting that pet. I do remember wanting that to be my ultimate goal in my Iron Man. And I'm glad that I can finally say that I've accomplished that.
It's pretty sick. It's a pretty sick thing. It was I don't know, Iron Man on release. I mean, all pets was seen as impossible, especially when Master Clues came out. It was just like, all right, if you get unlucky on Master, even if you go rate on Master Clues, again, this is back before the Callisto metas and everything else, but and just the amount of plugins we enjoy and the stacking and everything, or the juggling clue tech and everything. But I mean, just that alone was like so insane to think you'd get all pets on an iron. I mean, even as a main, it's insane. 4.6 bill was also just seen as like doing that on an Iron Man, especially when Iron Man first dropped, like 2014. I remember super, super late 2014 Lelador Rambles, just kind of talking about the maxing grind. Like just maxing an Iron Man was insane. But of course, we've seen quality of life over the years. What has been the biggest changes in regards to pet grinds? Like, I guess what I mean by that is like devaluation of certain grinds that used to be seen as insane and no longer are. Are there any?
Um, hmm. Well, not that this is what's the word called? Devaluing, but the new Araxor pet actually, I brought in a new mechanic on the speeding up your pet chances with the destroy option.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure if that is something that they're actually going to go forward with, or maybe they might even add that to older pets. You never know if people are actually enjoying it. So I can definitely see that devaluing like older pets if they add that as an option. I don't really know how I feel about it. I do kind of like the idea of when if it's just the only thing you want to go for, you don't want to get any loot, you just want the pet, so be it. Because you're not bringing in any new items to the game or bringing new items into the economy or whatever. So I think it's actually a pretty good idea that they added that
I know
because
I know Coxie kind of hates it. I think I mean, I pop into a stream and just bitching and moaning about it, but like, he chose to do the all pet speed run. But to his point, I mean, it's weird. And if you are a pet hunter, and again, I want to ask the previous question to Greg as well as on top of this one, but like, I don't know how I would feel if I was in, an all pets sort of position, or even worse, like Coxie's position, where his whole thing is about speed running all pets. Because a lot of those grinds you want to kind of pay for, like you kind of want to like build up some money. And if every pet, or if the pets going forward have this kind of option, it's just going to be like, damn, this kind of sucks not getting any loot, but I kind of feel obligated to do this for the pet. What are your thoughts, Greg?
Um, I don't know. I kind of like the system. I know Jagex have brought it up too that they really do enjoy the destroy system too. It's good for the economy. It's not flooding it with too many uniques. Um, but from my perspective, I got to think of it like in an Iron Man way. Like the
Mm-hmm.
drops that the boss has, are they worth losing? And I think with Araxor, the drops are definitely worth losing. So I'm cool with the destroy option. Um, but for Araxor specifically, I'm like three times the rate for the jar, so I haven't even destroyed one yet. So I don't
Mm.
really know what it's like. Um, I've heard, Creel, you've
it
said this too.
yeah, I did like 1,700 destroys, and it gets old after it gets old real quick when you're not even getting food drops to have longer
Oh,
trips.
true.
I didn't even think about that actually. That
Me
that actually
neither.
does suck. Yeah. You get the clues though, right? Like the elite clues.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, you do.
yeah, you do.
Okay, well, that's something. But I
Yeah.
know you were saying that like it was kind of destroying your mental just doing like thousands of kills and you just get nothing. Like,
Yeah, that doesn't sound fun.
And it got old real quick. I'll say that.
yeah.
So, what about, let's just say in the future they were to do something where, and again, this would kind of go against slowly flooding the market, but what if there was a system where it's like a 50% increased pet chance,
I think they do that
and
on RS3, right?
and you still get unique chances as well. You just don't get normal loot or food drops or anything. So it would be nothing unless you roll a unique or a pet. And let's just say it's 50% extra pet chance. Maybe this is like overcomplicating things. I'm just curious
Yeah.
if you.
Yeah, I do agree with you. It gets a little overcomplicated and very convoluted, making
Yeah, yeah,
exceptions to this pet. Oh, why is this older pet the same as it's always been? It's boring. Let's update it to this new
true.
method. and I can see that it just get tiring seeing what's the new meta, waiting for or even just waiting. Like, hey, we plan on updating Thermi to where instead of you getting no loot, you'll get double percent chance if you opt out for loot. But it's going to be coming in a few months. Well, now I got to put Thermi on the back burner
Mm,
because it's just gonna wait for the quicker rates. But so it just gets weird. I think the best way to do it is pick one option and then just go with it from now on. Maybe from now on for new like Slayer bosses have the Raxor mechanic where you destroy the body for the loot or whatever,
yeah.
or
What do
you
you?
loot the body.
I feel like I almost lean on, and again, that last suggestion was kind of just spitballing stuff, but I think just like emotionally, the way I see the game, I don't want them to even go down the destroy path for some reason. That just it could be fine. Like I think it works all right, but I think like you said, Creel, it gets old after a while. I know Coxie wasn't a huge fan of it, even though
Uh
it
huh.
just you kind of feel this obligation to do it, and that doesn't feel fun. Um, I don't know. I would almost hope they don't go down that route. Almost just keep it how it's always been. What are your
I'd be
thoughts,
fine
Greg?
with that as well.
Yeah, I think I'd have to experience it first to be like 100% certain.
Hmm.
Like, I think I'm mentally ready for a grind where I'm destroying it a couple thousand times, but I'd have to see first. Um,
Like,
I know.
oh no,
Go
sorry.
ahead.
Go. Well, I was just gonna briefly interrupt and just say, like, imagine this is something that just came to my head. Imagine master clues work this way. You open a master clue
Oh,
and you don't get any loot, but you get a
oh,
double pet chance. How fucking horrible would that be? That would be
Nah,
brutal. I
I
mean, not
rather I
fun in
rather
any
roll
way.
for the third age.
Yeah,
And
yeah, that's true.
yeah.
What if it was 4x though? Then you're like, ugh, god
one in
You
two
damn it.
have to do
fifty.
it. Like, you have
I
to
know.
destroy it, right? Like,
I know. It'd be bad. I don't know. Anyway, but continue, Greg, if you're had any other thoughts.
yeah, I don't know. I like the system. I know it does good for the economy. I mean, we're Iron Man. We don't really care about that, but I know it's good for the game, you know. Um, I think it's a cool system. Pet hunters, they can cry all they want, but they opted into this sort of gameplay,
Hmm.
and
True.
most of the pet hunters that are going for all pets, they are extremely wealthy already because
Hmm.
majority of the pets existing already, you are able to get all the loot while you're going for them. So
That's
Yeah.
true.
um, you can cry, but I think it's a good system.
Interesting. Yeah, I almost want to get like if they continue down this route, I'd love to hear other people's like opinions on it because even though yeah, I agree with you chose to be a pet hunter, you still have the option. You don't have to do this. Um, some of the time, even having systems in place where there is that option can just not feel great. And again, I'm not even in that position, so I'm just hearing what you guys say. It sounds like it actually works all right. I'd be curious about what other people think. Um, let's talk about older content getting pets. What are your thoughts on that? Barrows, pest control, random Moons of Peril. By the way, were you guys kind of upset that Moons of Peril didn't get a pet, or do you think it was a good decision by Jagex to not flood the market with a bunch of Moons items and devalue that grind for low level players? Thoughts?
I think they were kind of consistent with the moons not having the pet because it's almost Barrows too, or people would just say it's Bears too, and Barrows doesn't have a pet. So I think it was a smart idea not to include it immediately because then people be like, "Oh, well, now I want a Barrows pet," and then you get this big debate between people who want the Barrows pet, people who pet hunt and don't want it, and people who pet hunt and do want the Barrows pet. So, I mean, I'd be fine with it. I don't really mind older content getting new pets. At the end of the day, I'm still going to go for them. It's not gonna make me quit the game by any means. But revisiting old content that you've already completed is kind of just doesn't feel great. It feels like they're kind of also just they don't really have any content to put out, so they'll just add content to old content to kind of starve you over until like the new content comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Greg, what about you?
I'm kind of against it. Um, I think it just adds complexity to the game, really. Like if we think about Barrows specifically, like if that got a pet, Barrows has been in the game for what, 12 years. So adding new stuff to barrows seems a little weird to me, especially, for pet hunters and collection loggers too. Like I think the rate to complete barrows is like 1,500 chests. It just seems kind of weird if you do that and then you have to head back for, let's say, another 1 in 1,000 pet grind. It does seem weird to me. Um,
Oh, and you
and
have to kill all six brothers probably for it.
yeah, I would assume so. Um,
Yeah,
and on that topic,
let's make every single brother 1 in 5,000. So we're just like
ah,
DKs, I guess.
yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
We needed
surely
more one in
no one
five
would
K
complain
pets.
about that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, makes sense. You know, again, spitball idea. What if it was you have to go to the chest and decide destroy chest, and then that gives you the pet? So there's nothing flooding in the market. You just have to do barrows for no loot or anything. That'd be horrible. I was thinking of that
That's
for.
okay, because I'll destroy the chest, and then the 7 bots that are next to me, they'll be flooding the market instead.
Yeah. I will say one of the upsetting things is just how cool those moons bosses look, and it would have been so awesome to have a pet of that.
Oh
But
yeah.
again, it's
Yeah.
just one of those things where they're trying to,
Ooh,
you know,
I just thought had this
yeah.
idea.
Let's hear it.
So a Moxie's pretty much looks like one of the moons. Why not just give Moxie a transmog of them? Get a transmog from the moons instead.
Yeah, they do look similar. Yeah, I wouldn't be against it. You could even just get like a token from moons and then use it on Moxie or something, and that would be your sort of unofficial little pet transmog or something like that.
I
Yeah.
think that's cool. I like that more than adding pets to things that have existed for a while, like
Mm-hmm.
moons. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I think Moxie's one of the coolest looking pets in the game. I think the rarity kind of devalues it a bit because it's pretty easy to get, but it does look
Except for
super cool.
us.
Well, yeah, we both went unlucky, but for most people, it's not too hard to get.
I feel like the underglows of pets. I've always been a I don't know a hater of like that kind of
Oh yeah.
platform looking thing. It looks like a toy. It looks like some little
You
figurine
don't like you
almost.
don't like Maiden either?
No, no. Maiden would be great. Anything that has those underglows, even Hunliff. Well, the thing is, Hunliff especially would look so much better without that underglow underneath it. It just would because it almost like when you're zoomed out, it just looks a big glowing blue blob. There's no like definition to it, and I just feel like those underglows just they're not doing anything to the pet. They ruin it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I feel that.
I wish they would have given us the range and mage variant of the Nilo for the with the
Oh yeah,
tingling
it's
dust.
just the gray one, right?
Yeah. I think the blue
Um,
ones look so good, especially
It
with that
does.
electricity
The purple and red
around it.
too. I like all of them. I think the gray one's probably the
Yeah.
worst
Let's
one they
get the
could have
blood
done.
spawn as well, man. Why not? Just give them
little,
all of them.
oh yeah, the little tomato little guy,
Dude, that would be so fun to take on
like
like
a
a
veggie tail
416
looking guy.
raid. You just
Oh,
follow your
true,
mage.
true. Let it actually have a path that it makes too while it follows you. Holy shit! Can you imagine
There
that
you
little
go.
blood trail even in the main
Ultimate
game?
trolling.
Oh my god. Yeah. What about thoughts on, or like, what are your guys' thoughts on running pets? Nex, even though Nexling doesn't look amazing, there's something really special about it that it just books it behind you.
Yeah. I don't know. Does Baba runs whenever it's running
Yeah,
after
yeah.
you?
Bob, I think's
Yeah.
the only. Is that the only other one that does that? It's
I
like
think
Bob.
those are the only two bosses that charge after you,
Yeah.
I believe.
I
Um,
think so, yeah.
I think you
yeah,
could
I think
make it
those
so
are.
other ones do as well if you like glitch it somehow, or there was some sort of glitch you could get it to do it. I
Oh,
think, right?
really? Oh, for
Maybe
pets, like you can
maybe it
make
was
them
just
have the
Toa
next
pets. I
one.
think it was like almost just the Toa pet or something. Like you would. I
Hmm.
don't. There was like some weird glitch. I just remember somebody's. What was the pet? Something was running after it, and it wasn't supposed to be. But maybe I'm misremembering.
Yeah, I think just leaving the pets that can actually run have that mechanic. So like Baba and Next, it'd be kind of weird and silly if like my Gardevoir started running after me, but Gardevoir doesn't run as a mechanic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I agree. That would be pretty weird.
Yeah. Okay. So let me just ask: favorite pet? Actually, you know what? I'm not even going to say base purely off looks. Base purely off everything. So including the prestige, including just emotional tie to it. Like, what is your absolute favorite pet in this game?
100% Zammy is the coolest pet. Is a big demon with cleavers. and it's actually a pretty decent hard pet to get, 1 in 5K. And you got to run around the Godwars dungeon a whole lot to kill as an Iron Man, and it still takes a long time as a main account to get it because
Mm-hmm.
1 in 5Ks aren't easy. It's just the coolest pet, in my opinion.
Greg?
I think the Penance Queen, if because if we're considering prestige too, obviously Penance Queen one of the rarer ones, but I do love just how massive that thing is. Like you got all these tiny pets, but you cannot miss a Penance Queen hanging out. Like your eyes just go right to it. Um,
Yeah,
I think it's so
I have
fucking ugly though.
it is ugly. I think it's ugly in a good way, just like Baron.
Mm,
everyone
You
loves Baron.
Baron's
yeah,
my
Baron's
Baron's
great.
my favorite.
Okay,
You never ended up getting it, did you? I think you were pretty
Now,
dry on it.
7850 KC right now. Still taking a break.
78. Damn.
damn.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
You know what's a really cool looking pet? Hubert. I fucking love the psychedelic and like it's in like 144 hertz. I don't know. It's just like it's like double the fucking like screen refresh rate. It looks great.
It
It's just
is
cool.
very adorable when it walks behind you. I will agree with that.
Yeah, I think with that pet specifically, they've been doing a pretty good job of like taking the pets that are normally like in a weird spot, like how Duke is in a wall,
Mhm,
and like they've done a good job at making those pets like kind of different in a way because the older pets they just took the boss model and just here you go, that's your
Hmm.
boss pet. But Duke and Hubert look really cool and different than their actual like boss variant. So I really do like that.
I've
yeah, I think
always been a fan of that. Yeah.
yeah. I wish they would do that with Sire. I wish Sire looked more like its boss.
Yes.
Hmm.
That's actually the one that would be the opposite. Like Sire, I actually or I wish was just the boss variant because
Yeah.
that Abyssal um, Orphan, I'm sorry, that is just not doing it. It needs to either be like darker, it needs to have like richer colors to it, like the Superior Abyssal, or just make it the actual like boss thing. I think that's the only one that I would say though, because I actually like it when they have like Hell Puppy, for example, being a little different than Serb.
Oh yeah, his Hell Puppy does look a little different. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Abyssal Sire is a pet you get. Just throw in the house and forget that you ever got it, really.
Yeah.
Never had it follow me for a second.
I really wish Sire had a pet roll on the kill itself as well as the unsired roll. I wish it was like a 1 in 10K or something. You could just get it from the boss and then also
Mm.
get the unsired roll. I just feel like it would be so much more special to just kill Sire, you see the loot, and boom, you have the pet following behind you as well. Like that would just feel great.
Kind of kind of agree with you on that, but I also like the unsired mechanic. Kind of whenever I put the unsired in the fountain, it kind of reminds me of like a little slot machine. You don't know what you're about to get.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, no. I'm all about the slot machine mechanic on top of it. I think that's. I feel like there's something special about, I don't know, just potentially getting the pet right there as well. It's the same thing with the Dragon Full Helm. You can get it from the Mithril Dragon itself, super rare, but the Chewies are the fun part.
Yeah, having that one method where you don't expect to get it, but like if you do, it's like, oh my God.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Did
I
they?
got my Dragon Full Helm from the dragon itself. I wasn't
Oh,
expecting
Uh,
it. I was like working and I heard the sound. I'm like, the hell is this? I don't need anything from these. I forgot
dude,
you could even get it as a drop. It was super hype.
that must
yeah, I
have
wish
hit.
didn't they remove it from brutal black dragons the Dragon Full
That
Helm?
was the dumbest thing that they even added in the first place. So fucking stupid. Like
I
for
didn't
no.
even remember that.
Yeah, yeah, no, that was in it for like a couple years at least. And bots were
Yeah,
just and they had no Slayer requirement. By the way, the Slayer requirement's really arbitrary because it's a just a black dragon randomly has a Slayer requirement. I understand why
yeah,
they did it, just it's like a band-aid fix to but why did it drop a dragon full helm? This is so dumb, like completely devaluing mithril dragons. The price plummeted too to like 20 mil or something. And then it's regen since, but like it's such a bad move. I'm so glad they patched it.
Yeah, that was like one of the most botted places too, right?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
still is.
Still is. Wow. Even with the Slay requirement.
Well, it's not quite as bad, but I'll always go there and I see people and they're like full. I'm sorry, if I'm seeing a person in full God D hide with the coif with the van braces, you're a bot. Like it's just no human is dressing that way. I'm sorry.
You're probably right.
Like the full Guthix D-hide. I'm sorry. There's probably somebody listening that's like, I'm calling them out right now, but like, holy shit, you're just so bot-like. Especially when they just have an Ava's accumulator on. Or better yet, they have their range cape and it's untrimmed because that's like all they fucking did. You just check their range level. It's like 80 mil range. All their other, there's like 1,200 total or something.
Yep.
Dude,
Real
he's having
players for
fun,
sure.
man. He's having fun.
Oh my god. So we're all three Iron Men. I think we definitely love the Iron Man just game mode, just the classic experience of having to do everything yourself. Have you guys ever considered playing different game modes? Have you done anything else besides your main irons?
So yeah, I've been playing RuneScape since 2007, and I got a completionist cape back in pre-EOC, and I played old school when it first came out for a couple of months. There wasn't really any updates coming on. Then I went back to EOC for a while, and then when Ironman mode came out, I told myself, yeah, this is the game mode I want to play, and ever since then I've been playing. So
Nice.
yeah,
So you have
so
no
yeah,
desire to like split off to UIM. Have you ever thought about it or make a hardcore or anything, or just are you pretty much dedicated on this account even after completing all pets?
no, 100% dedicated to this account. I think overloading this account with all the trophies and things I collect on is like the coolest flex ever. I think just having all these accolades just makes me feel a lot better than playing a main account, going for like PBs or something like that, or playing the UIM. That doesn't sound appealing to me whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. What about you,
Yeah.
Greg?
Yeah, for me, I mean, since you went through your backstory a bit, I didn't really play this game before Old School came out. Like I played it a little bit, so I have a bit of nostalgia. Um, but pretty much from 2007 to 2015, I only played private servers. So my
Kill the
first
Jimmy Neutrons.
yes, the SpongeBob's, the spawning on the Inferno, the Luigi waves, yeah, all that. Um, but my first experience in Old School was an Iron Man. I watched a lot of Iron Aloha's stream back in the day.
Yes.
Yeah, he was
Hmm.
super high ranked, like top 10. Super nice guy too. I think he still plays. Um, but he got me into the game. I've always been an Iron Man. I've never had a desire to play a main. I think the majority of my accomplishments are, validated by the fact that I'm an Iron Man. So I don't think I could ever play any other way.
That's fair. Yeah, I think with both of you, I think if this was 6 months ago, I would have been completely on board with just the whole mindset of like one account,
Hmm.
all progress on one account. Don't ever, if you split off from it, then you're just, I don't know.
Trolling.
Yeah, you're kind of trolling. Like you're just not like. What if you get something crazy on a different account? Like how's that gonna feel? It's not gonna. You just want everything to be accumulated on one account. And I was definitely all about that. I think I want to ask you guys about potential burnouts if you've ever experienced it, or just kind of losing motivation on some grinds, because that was definitely something I began experiencing on Sae Bae. We'll kind of talk briefly about what your guys' thoughts are on CAs and stuff. I know you guys are both grandmasters. What your thoughts are on that continuing of just you're constantly losing the progress, but you're regaining it. How you guys feel, and just I guess have you guys ever experienced any sort of demotivated states where you want to almost try a different account? Have you ever felt it?
Um,
Let's hear it.
so yeah, after Leagues 4, I went for top page and ended up getting it. I think I finished ranked 17th. And that was a very long 7 weeks grind of just going at it every day and completing almost every task you can possibly do. And after that, I just like I did not feel like going back to the main game at this point. So I didn't play RuneScape for about 2 weeks. I just played other games instead, just to reset the mental to be able to come back to the main game, because it's pretty difficult coming back from killing a boss in 10 seconds and needing no food or whatever, and getting the rare drop in like 3 kills, and that would just be normal. To just come back to just the
300
normal game.
hours of just
Yeah.
same shit.
So whenever I don't feel like playing my account, it's just I go play other games for a while because I feel even more burnout starting a new account over. or playing something new.
Mm.
But I can understand how some people enjoy it, especially like I think you were playing squat cam just to have a new experience of what new Ironmen are going through right now with like the Moon's Rush or like the early skilling grinds that didn't exist when we were starting out.
Hmm.
And I can understand how that's very appealing because I do those grinds whenever a new league comes out, and it was a lot of fun, especially like the early scurriest kills on like 6 hours in. Those were hitting pretty well, especially when you got a bone tail drop or whatever it was
Oh
called
yeah,
for
Scurrious
like
Spine.
yeah, scary spine for like 240k prayer XP. You're like, holy shit, yeah, I need that.
Yeah, I've got a newfound love for Scurious after leagues as well. Like in the main game, we just killed it a couple thousand times because it's got a pet. You kind of have to, but we've seen the combat boost you get from it. It's a really great boss.
Yeah, it's fun as hell. The only issue, and I've mentioned this just in the past couple rambles I've made, is just the fact that when you are a low level, and this is not talking leagues in the main game, if you want to kill Scurrius at a low level, especially if you're an Iron Man, I mean, the one thing you don't have is prayer pots. So
Yeah.
Scurrius becomes, I mean, very difficult. Like it actually becomes a legitimate challenge to like constantly be one tick flicking your prayer. It's not like a super tough challenge. It's just like if you wanted to actually be efficient with this, you know, quote unquote efficient kind of, and not have to tele out for prayer every single kill, it's a lot of one tick flicking and a lot of like not beyond one tick flicking, actually go into your prayer book and like individually doing the one tick flicks because yeah, you have very limited prayer. You have like 45 prayer points, no prayer pots. I mean, enjoy. So, but overall, the fight, besides that point, it's phenomenal. I think the movement and the
Yeah,
prayer.
it sounds rough. Like I know Scurious is meant for low level players. Like imagine being an Iron Man who isn't like super experienced at the game and like doesn't really have a good understanding of prayer flicking. I
Hmm.
guess you're just kind of screwed, right? If you don't get any prayer restoration, you're like doing a 2 kill trip and hitting the altar in Lumbridge or something and teleporting back. It can probably be a pretty rough process, I imagine.
It's pretty rough. I wish, I don't know, they need to do something. I feel like even if it was just to have a rat altar down there where you can just pray, restore your prayer. Maybe there's a slight cooldown. Maybe it's just every kill you can use it. Like I honestly would not. I know that sounds OP in a way, but like at the same time, this is just a little baby rat boss to try to teach people how to prayer flick. And if you could just kind of sit there and just kind of have unlimited prayer in a way, similar to like LMS, they just fucking give you unlimited prayer. And imagine dealing with. Do you guys remember old LMS when you'd watch like Spark Mac? It's just everyone starts off with 10 prayer points. You're just the whole thing is just like how talented are you at flicking smite and then flicking your offensive prayers and without losing
I
prayer
remember
points.
the Dragonstone bolts for the comeback hit a 70 on someone that you were clearly losing the fight. And you just proc the dragon fire bolt or whatever and just kill them.
Yeah,
I
great.
remember that.
Yeah,
That was
no,
great.
I just feel like these if they really want to actually nail this system, they have to come out with something. I was thinking even a slight prayer regeneration in the Varrock sewers, because then the Varrock sewers actually becomes a legitimate training spot for any sort of low level account. Like this is kind of the spot you go to. You're going to be constantly regenning prayer over time, similar to demonic runes, and I even just said, you know, maybe thematically it could be once you complete Demon Slayer, there's the demon spell has been lifted from Varrock and now the sewers have this prayer. I don't fucking know. Just something lore wise
Oh,
that can help these low levels like have a good experience. Because when you see real casuals training, their prayer's at 0 or it's just at full and they've never touched it. They don't even understand the purpose of prayer. It's just like, well,
mhm.
I'm not using it. And so
Yeah, yeah.
What if you could bury the rat bones for like prayer, like how you can in like the
oh
Grin dungeon
yeah.
or
Oh, that's fucking genius. Yeah, and you killed 6 rats. If even if yeah, no, that would be brilliant. You know, because you don't need to do it. The mains and stuff would still have to use their prayer. But if you are really lacking in prayer, you just bury some bones. Maybe get 5 prayer back or something in that specific area.
yeah, and then mains really want to do it, they can just bring a bone crusher.
True, true, true. Yeah. another really positive change. I actually want to get your guys' feedback if you've even noticed it. Being a
Mhm.
high level, maybe you haven't done any content that you've really got to experience it. But the run energy changes that happened last week, or I guess this week, have been pretty fucking huge across the board. What are you guys' thoughts? I'll start with you, Greg.
Yeah, so I tested some stuff on day one just to see how it's like. The first place I went was Duke because I think I was bringing like maybe two stams for a trip last time, and I tried it now, and I think you use like maybe 4 or 5 doses. So like you use half the stam you used to, which is awesome. So that was the only time I've tried something like with the max amount of like items on you and stuff. I did a couple CMs too. You don't need a stam in a CM for both solo and trio. So
Really?
yeah, that's an inventory space you save
Damn.
for a 2K grind, which is great. Um, and
Is
I've just been go ahead.
is that including hitting those run portals?
Yeah, you
That's
hit
what
I
makes
think
it.
3.
Okay.
Yeah, you used to hit 1, but now you hit 3.
Mm.
It's like a time loss of like maybe 3 seconds, but
Yeah, but if you're not
saving a
going for world
stam.
record, it's just whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't matter for for the money runs. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Um, I've been doing some soul runes too. Not that that's like a huge thing, but sometimes you ran out of energy, but now
Mhm.
it's not even close. So save some time there too. I
That's
love it.
that's kind of nice. Holy.
Yeah.
So I haven't been able to really test it because I've been working on just rooftop agility and Brimhaven agility for collection and completionist type deals because I'm kind of going for all graceful sets right now. So I
Mm.
haven't really gotten to test any of that. But from what I've heard today from Greg and what people say on our Discord, how CMs are a lot nicer with the quality of life from the energy changes. I think it's a pretty good change.
Yeah, it's really damn good.
I don't know if you remember, but you remember the 416 bloat runs you would do and just get stamina pots.
I
That
never, I do remember them. I never participated because I just thought it was fucking just pointless. I just run the rooftops. I have enough autism to just run the rooftops. I'm chilling. I'm not
yeah,
like pulling my hair out.
we have a friend that is always down horrendous on stamina potions, and he said, "All right, we can do some CMs, but we got to go hit 416 first." And we would do a run, get through bloat, tell the people what rolls we were doing for Nilo. We'd be like, "Oh guys, I gotta go. It's raining here in Egypt," and
Fucking
then we would just
A.
log out.
Oh, that is so good. That's like leaving BA, like getting all the way like wave 9 BA and just leaving your team. Sorry guys, mom's calling.
He's not the
Or
most
like,
moral player, I'll say.
he's something, all right.
That
Yeah,
is
he
cursed.
he upped his game to taking stams out of the Zarpus chest too, and like finishing a Tob with like 3 item switches and 25 stams in the inventory, like
That
flicking
is a
prayers.
if you're in Valiant Solitary or uh, maybe even Olympus, you've probably seen the screenshot of that. He's got 25 in the inventory on a 5 man.
Huge for the
Yeah, he
skills,
had
yeah.
no
It's his
bruise.
rooftops. It is just his rooftops is doing a full tob, prayer
Yeah.
flicking it, just sweating his ass off. Yeah. No, I mean respect. Now you can't even do that. I think you can only get like 1 or 2 stamps per full run, right? Can't you only
Yeah,
buy one?
they've been cracking down lately on the cheese methods like the staminas and not even mega skills.
Oh yeah, so I saw a tweet from a cold one saying they haven't quite actually patched it fully. They've obviously made some changes, but services are still going about with this
Mhm.
new method where like it used to be a 65% chance, now it's like a 50%. I don't know exactly how it's working. He just had a short tweet saying this fix didn't fix it. Do you guys have any info on that?
I've never done mega scales or purchased them, so I have no idea how they work.
Mm.
I know it's not fixed. I think, yeah, like you said, it's like a 50% chance now, and they've increased their prices to reflect that. I don't know what you do to fix it, really. I'm not too knowledgeable about like the point system and all, but
Hmm.
I would love to see something happen at least.
I just need to hear. I need to get somebody on that understands the system because
Yeah.
it feels like it's a very, very easy change to it's just simply no points get transferred over to anybody else. Like that's just as simple as that. That no points are getting funneled to a different account. If there's an account that genuinely grinds all the way to 125k or whatever the max is, like yeah, if they're skilling the whole time, that's totally fair game. You know, you could skill and get your points. Cox did start off as a skilling slash PVM raid, so but the funneling of points again, I guess you guys aren't quite in the know, but like, yeah, if it's still happening, we just need to address it one more time instead of letting it linger for another several years. Again, it's not like this keeps me up at night by any means, but it just feels silly to, especially when you see some like really, really low level Iron Man just pimp to the gourd, which is even a hardcore, like early hardcore, level like 40 combat, it's just got all his mega rares already. It's odd.
Yeah, it kind of
And
stings a little bit seeing it. It doesn't like bother me too much, but like I grinded for like 2 years for TiVo, and then some level 40 can't even wear his. It just feels a little weird to have that in the game.
yeah, and again, it's very, very small thing, but it's just why do we even have a system? Like what just patch it. Like actually get down to the root of it. What is the problem? How are points being funneled, and just patch it fully. And I want to, this is, I want to also just caveat by saying I have always been a proponent for the last several years of buffing Chambers purple rates. I want to get your guys' take on this, because this is something where it just feels out of line with the other two raids. And with future raids coming into this game, do we really want to see raids 1 be as daunting of a grind as it really is? I mean, people talk about dry protection and things, and I really don't feel like dry protection needs to even be a discussion. What needs to happen at first, at least, is just drastically improve drop rates of things. Like we don't need to be grinding for one item that's a 400-hour efficient grind. And when you're a casual at Chambers, good fucking luck. Like if you're taking 40 minutes to do it, 30, 40 minutes, including the whole scouting process, whatever, getting geared with a team, like you have to basically just be ignorant to the actual facts of what you're grinding, because you just have to pray to God you get something at Chambers. It is so incredibly rare to actually be like grinding specifically for a TiVo if you're not sweating. And even when you are sweating, it is just insane. If you go 4x rate of a TiVo, you're fucked. You're just fucked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think most people that are going for TiVos right now are just, yeah, like I said, they might be ignorant. I don't know if that's the word for it, but I think they're gamblers, they're praying that they'll beat the odds and get the bow at a super low kill count. I know our clan, like I think maybe 5 people have gone over the rate for a TiVo, and I'm sure like 100 people have one. So no one is really going the rate for it unless you're a super dedicated player. But if you're, taking it slow, you do team raids that are like 40 minutes, I don't know, it's just a hell of a grind. They should make it easier in some way for sure.
You have any thoughts, Creel?
Yeah, I don't know. Raids 1's kind of weird because, well, raids in RuneScape's just kind of weird because you can just run them all week, every day, as much as you possibly want. And some people can do, 20 raids a day because, they don't have any responsibilities. Or the more casual people, like you said, they can maybe do 10 a week.
Mm-hmm.
And if you make it to where it's a lot quicker, those people that are getting like, 20 raids a week or 20 raids a day, they're pumping out purples because, they're putting in the time for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe there's way too many purples coming into the economy. Like, look at TOA, for example. Like, the Fang is like, what, 8 mil? 8 maybe?
It's cheap. I just know that. I haven't checked prices.
Yeah, so I do think maybe a rework for it for sure. But I'm not sure how they could balance it to where it's still a respectable grind. I don't know what should be a respectable grind for like a twisted bow. Should be like the same grind as like grinding out 400 solos on TOA or 400 4-man TOAs, about the same rate.
I just
Same
think
amount of time.
you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. It just sounds like, and again, this is more. It's really for everybody. This would benefit everybody, in my opinion. But when you're looking at an Iron Man, if you have max gear, if you're already rocking a TiVo, if you're already rocking full ancestral and everything, and you're just grinding out raids efficiently, soloing, you have the skill level of Lake, that's one thing. But most people grinding their mega rares are using a fucking blowpipe or some dog shit or like a bofa or something. And
Yeah.
personally, I would just love it if the purple rate just straight up across the board got doubled. I know that sounds absolutely insane, but like to some people, but seriously, if they were to just double the drop chance of getting a purple across the board, I think that would be such a massive improvement. Yes, it would mess with the economy slightly. Well, maybe not even just slightly, but they already do things with the Grand Exchange where they're like, what do they do? They
The
do like,
tax
yeah,
buys out items and
yeah,
destroys
yeah,
it.
and
Yeah.
then the Tebow's a part of that, and other things like they're able to kind of manipulate these item prices to their advantage and just whatever. And that's a separate discussion if that's like warranted or not. But like, I just feel like Chambers is one of those places where purples are so extremely rare, and really they don't need to be. And because isn't a Tebow like 400 hours or something? Like,
Yeah,
Um,
1,000 solos. I mean, assuming you're pretty good, you're doing them like 20 minutes, so I guess it might be a little lower than that. But I mean, if you're casual, yeah, that's like 400, 500 plus hours.
yeah, imagining you don't already have a Tebow equipped. I mean, Tebow is a pretty big speed up in Chambers. Yeah, and 20 minutes is, really just, okay, you're not spending much time scouting. You're just in and out of the raids, boom, boom, boom. You're getting the perfect layouts or whatever. You're getting a decent enough layout. Like, really, when I think about it, I think the average, even a good player, is probably making them like 25 minutes. Maybe you die here and there, you lose some points. That kind of averages out to 25, maybe 30 minutes if you're just based off of points.
Mm.
It's just ridiculous. I mean, you do Tob, and I think a Scythe is what, 200, maybe 250 hours for like the average 3-man team. If you're popping in there, maybe you have 2 people with a Scythe, you have a whip or whatever. Like, it's still, I don't know. I just feel like it should be on that kind of level. And I think Tebow's almost double that in a lot of cases. Again, there's a lot of caveats to be put in there, but would you guys, I guess I'll just ask straight up again, this is just my own personal take on it. There's so many people that probably hear this and are just like, hell no, you chose to be an Iron Man. It's not even about just the Iron Man. It's just about having more fun. Seeing more purples is just a better experience across the board. And a lot of us are getting older and stuff, and we just don't have quite as much time to invest in like getting a purple. TOA feels good. TOA genuinely, like when you go into that room, you kind of almost have this hope of like, there's probably a purple there. With Cox, it's like, it's like you see a purple, it's like, holy fucking Luya. Like, how? Like, that's amazing. It's an actual purple. Like, how the hell did this happen? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
it's just, this is out of control, in my opinion. Would you guys, if they were to make purples twice as common, would you guys have a problem with that? What are the pros and cons, would you guys say, if you have any thoughts?
well, someone's fortune isn't my agony. So if someone gets lucky with a Tebow, it's not going to affect my gameplay whatsoever. That's the way I kind of feel about it. If it brings more people into the game and gets more people into doing chambers, I think that's always a good thing. So I would be fine with it if they updated it. I mean, I've got the bow already. I went over the rate. I think it went like 60 purples for mine at like almost 2,000 regular solos. So I mean, I'd be fine with the if they increase the rate for it because I do think chambers is a little outdated with how they do purples.
Do you have any further? I don't know if you agree with what I was saying, Greg. How do you feel?
It's a hard subject for me, just because the changing of content that is very, very old is very, it's a hard topic to answer.
Hmm.
Um, for me, I went dry there too, and hell, if you double your purple rate at Chambers, you are still getting more purples at TOA per hour. Like
Hmm.
that is obviously a problem. Um, I feel like this older content, it's tough for me. I wouldn't be against it. Like Creel said, I don't like if some new player is getting lucky on a Tebow, that doesn't affect me. I'm honestly happy if someone doesn't have to go through the pain that we have. So I don't think I'd be against it. I would vote yes if I saw it in a poll. But yeah, there's some issues with chambers that needed to be addressed for sure.
Yeah, no, it is. In my view, it is just like a rip a band-aid off. Just like, can we get this in line with other raids, and then we won't have to
Ooh.
suffer the consequences later down the road when raids 5, raid 6, raid 7 come out that are actually outclassing potentially these raids 1 rewards. Like that's gonna be where shit is very imbalanced. Like, why would you even, and you know what they'll do if let's just say they come out with something better than ancestral, just who knows, maybe they won't do that. But if they did, they'd probably be like, okay, well, now you have to go actually grind raids 1, get the ancestral, and add an attachment to it. And it's like, fucking A, like, we'll need to, it's like, can we please just address this issue? It's the same thing with Fasanis, like, just Nightmare in general. They rip the Band-Aid off, but it's still not even quite where it should be, in my opinion. I was even advocating like a 1 in 50 for Fasani's drop. Those things are not, you're not pulling T-bows at Fasani's. I'm sorry, these are not T-bow level equipment. This is fucking Inquisitors. Like,
Very mid equipment that
yeah,
is very niche. That you don't even see people use it like very
anywhere.
efficient. Yeah. Like where were we using the harm at? Just maybe Zora and
And at
Ice
Fasani's itself,
Demon.
it's just, yeah.
They
It's,
could ripping the band-aid off. I'm gonna come out and say it. Stackable clues. I think they need to be in the game.
ooh,
Ooh,
okay.
I mean,
Let's hear your take on that.
we are just constantly moving the bar closer and closer to it, and I think that's actually about to get pulled again, and I don't see it failing.
There's no way it fails, especially with the 70%.
I
Yeah,
mean, think about it over the years. Like we went from you can only have one type of clue. Okay, now you can have one of each type of clue. To okay, now you can have each type of clue if you drop them on the ground. Okay, now we're going to up the timer to an hour. Okay, now you're not going to be able. They're not going to despawn after you've been logged out. The timer doesn't drop at all. At this point, just add them, man.
yeah.
We're just getting closer and closer to it, anyways.
Greg, thoughts?
yeah. I mean, this call is three people that love doing clues, so I think our answers are going to be the same. Yeah, stackable clues needs to happen. I think every time we have a league, that conversation comes up, and a lot more
Yeah,
people hop on the side of wanting them. I don't know what the limit would be if there is one. It doesn't matter to me in any capacity because adding them is just a complete buff to gameplay for all players.
Yeah, it almost, there's even a part of me that, when the discussion arises about the whole how much should they stack, I've almost just continually gotten less and less interested in that discussion. It's almost like, why? I just think, like, what are the actual reasons to even have a limit? Like, if we're already going to go down the road of just adding stackable, which, by the way, for years I was against. I want to make that clear. Like, it's not like I was always against the idea of stackable because I thought the distraction diversion concept was great. But then unpulled out of nowhere, we basically got it in a weird way. This whole dropping them on the ground,
yeah,
you could just grind out jellies and just drop all the hard clues on the ground during work, just boom, head back to work, or you head back home and you have 25 hards just stacked on the ground. It's a little bit obnoxious, don't get me wrong, but you do have 25 hards that you just basically kind of stacked in a weird way. And I don't know if yeah, let's talk specifically about limits. Creel, do you have any thoughts on, like, do you have a reason why, or I guess for or against limits to these stacks?
um, no, I think they should just add as many as you want because if we're going to add the limit, then we're like, hey, can we up the limit? Hey, why
That's
is
what
this
I
limit?
feel like. Yeah, it's just like,
Yeah.
this is gonna
It's just going to be an extra step, so might as well just go all out at this point.
and I will add one thing as well is what is gonna suck if you add these sort of limits, like, hey, like, just make it 3, just make it 5, just make it 10. Again, this was kind of the discussions I was having before the whole stackable thing even arose. Years back, I was just saying, I was kind of on board of having these discussions because I didn't want to have it get out of control. But at this point, it's like, what would really suck is to start an account, And let's just say you can only stack 1 or only stack 3 from the get-go, and then it slowly builds up. I mean, how fun is that? That kind of fucking sucks. Like, why not just whatever the limit is, if there is a limit, just make it equal across the board or just make it unlimited? Because I'm trying to think right now, what are the negative consequences to somebody infinitely stacking up as many clues as possible? The only thing I can really think is just master clues, stacking masters at a lower level. So if you're like a level 3, you just stack up all the masters until you have all the requirements. That could be seen as, okay, maybe that's a little bit busted. But at the same time, it's only busted because we've just dealt with that for so long. But is it actually busted, or would that actually be a good thing to be able to hold on to your clue until you're able to actually do that clue
No,
requirement?
I think that's fine. For your example specifically, level 3s, they're not going to be pumping in 100 master clues an hour. There's just no way.
No, but I'm talking about the passive ones you get from the lesser tiers. So you let's just say you're
Yeah,
grinding
yeah.
out 5,000
No,
easies. Like now you have 100 hards. Is it fair for you to be able to just have all those 100 hards stacked already, and you can just hold on to them indefinitely until you have the requirements? Because it used to be the
yeah.
case that you were fucked. You open a master, you're like, well, I can't do this. Got to drop it or something.
No, I think it's totally fine because you're still having to do the clues to get those masters.
I
I mean,
agree.
the rate of masters is the same for everyone from a clue.
Yeah. So how would it work then? Just scroll boxes? Is that how you guys are kind of seeing it? Kind of like league scroll boxes?
Yeah,
I
Empty
think
it and
just
drop
one
it.
to one. Keep it just like how you have it in leagues.
right,
Okay.
exact same system. Nothing changed at all.
Solid.
Although I would keep the 1 hour timer for scroll boxes too. I'm just thinking of Callisto. I know I don't do it anymore, but like if you get like 10 clues and you're still there and then team shows up, I'll just drop the stack and then you're good.
Oh, also keep that 1 hour for clues as well in case you have a good three stepper for a master.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's how it would be. It would be like you could still do
Yeah,
the juggle method that's in game, but you still have the scroll box option if you're not doing like wildy stuff.
yeah, I remember when people would get the dragon step or whatever, like fuck, I gotta lock in, make sure I don't lose my three stepper.
Oh
Dude,
yeah.
those were intense, man. I had to bring thralls and like claws to my steps, dude. It was like clues took on like a PVM level of focus.
What they need to do is after you complete what's the quest to get to Sepulcher? I don't remember what it's called.
Sins of the Father.
Yeah.
Sons of the Father. That northern wall of the Draken's area
Yeah.
needs to be able to go through, so you can just climb up the big rope and go
Yeah.
north around to the step.
It's
Yeah, that's what I
so
thought it was for when it came out, and then it just didn't work like that. I was like, "What the hell is this for?"
we're just waiting for the conclusion of that quest for us to be able to actually finally just climb a rope directly up to that.
You know
This is
that
so
quest was
dumb.
supposed to come out a few months after Sins of the Father, and they just never continued the line. I guess they're waiting to. Guess they're waiting on a new PVM update
Probably, yeah.
in Mauritania. I don't
They
know.
they need so badly to like. There's nothing fun about running around that thing. And there's nothing challenging. There's nothing fun. There's no added element of anything substantial to running around that fucking wall. So the only it would be okay to run that wall as long as there's some sort of okay, maybe there's even a level 85 agility obstacle that you need to pass. You can get it quicker. Like you just add some sort of option. But dear God, yeah, doing that whole telegrab bullshit, like it's ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
I guess you don't need to do that anymore because you can just juggle for an hour. But the juggling for 3 minutes was a fucking that was stressful.
Yep, we got it good now for sure.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna quick pee, take a little breather, and
All
I'll
right,
return.
All right,
All right, I'll go with you.
Okay.
I'll watch.
All right. Cool.
so
Go
Yeah, I'm chilling. Just drinking Monster Energy drink, chilling now.
Well, what color of monster? Excuse me.
I like the white and the originals. Those are the best flavors.
I like the
Zero
original.
sugar.
Yeah, of course. Who the fuck is drinking full ass 200 calories of just liquid sugar? Fuck that. They taste identical now. They've nailed it. I don't know how
Dude,
they did that.
that original flavor is so damn good.
It's so good, especially when you're when you just had something really fucking salty and you're just like really fucking thirsty. Like, bro,
Dude.
that shit slaps.
I was look I made the biggest mistake a couple months ago. The rehab one. Have you ever had that?
Are those the tea ones, like half tea, half?
It's uncarbonated,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I
Did you
took
buy a
one.
full ass like 15 pack or something? Hopefully not.
No. I
Okay,
bought a
good,
one off.
good, good.
I drank one, and I was immediately spit it out and dumped it. It was the worst tasting shit I've ever had.
You were probably fucking
Like the
waiting for it to be carbonated too, so it just like was like, oh, like it's flat or something.
Yeah, I almost vomited. It was so bad.
I think I don't think they're bad. I would just never get them. I think I had the can't remember what it was, like some purple one or something. Rehab. It wasn't bad. It was just tasted like tea, kind of just sweeter tea.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys know how many gripes I have with this game. Ultimately, I still feel like we're in the the golden era of old school RuneScape, and I've said that. I love the dev team being so transparent, so willing
Oh,
to get our feedback on board and everything. But people hear me every episode of me just fucking yelling at this game and the problems I have with it. So I want to ask you two. What are your guys' biggest gripes about the current game? Do you have things that you just hate? Like you log in and you're just, oh my god, I got to deal with this, or this has still not been fixed, or this is an issue in the game, and you just keep it bottled up. Is there anything in particular that you guys are just like,
so
yeah,
yeah, so I'm gonna go on a little tangent here, but since I've been playing since 2007, and I went from RS2 to EOC to old school. Unironically, I think the best and the worst update of all time was EOC. It's the best because it's given us RuneScape, old school RuneScape today of what it is, and it is thriving. It is like it's the best it's ever been right now. The devs, the voting's not perfect, but it's added so many amazing things to the game. The community's awesome, and I think it's great. The only downside is I think destroying RS2. Yeah, RS2 is great, but I think it's actually better that we destroyed RuneScape with EOC to get this game. And I think the devs, they're doing a great job. It's not perfect, the game, by any means. There's some just terrible things. Nightmare in particular is terrible. Please delete it. Uh, that's the worst thing probably I could think of is Nightmare.
it's
How about you, Gray?
yeah, let's hear.
Yeah, you and me, Creel, we Discord a lot. We always talk about, like, compared to other MMOs, how we are playing the best game right now, and I fully do
Yeah.
agree with that. We watch a lot of videos about other MMOs and like how they're taking directions with their games, and I think, like you said, like the integration of like the devs into the community and stuff, they're fully aware of what we want. They pull everything we want. I think we have one of the greatest games that are available right now. I have like really small gripes with things like, I mean, like you said, like drop rates of some things like chambers or nightmare, but these are all things that I'll still go for. Like I'll happily do those things. So my gripes are very small, but I truly believe we're playing like the best game available right now. So I'm super happy to log in every day. Pretty
It's
wholesome.
it's yeah, no, I'm on board, especially Iron Man mode, completely untainted. There's no
Mhm.
just you can't buy shit. You can't buy gold. You can't. The only barely little thing that's in here is like services. People logging into your account, which is against the rules. To have people logging into your account to do things. Pretty sure. I mean, it's probably in the rules. Does anyone fucking enforce it? Barely, but and that's part of the reason why I'm against the funneling of points and stuff. Does it keep me up at night? No, but it's just one of those kind of slippery slopes you see where it's like Iron Man mode is so pure, like it's so good, and it's been kept very, very pure for a decade, and I wanted to continue that way because we have something like you said, fucking super special, and it's easy to kind of lose that perspective on like how good we have it, really, because it could be so much worse. We gotta get it.
Yeah. I see a lot of people on Twitter and stuff that are upset with things, and like I feel for them. I know there's a lot of people that care about like the integrity of the game and all that, but I'm just sitting here with like a smile on my face, just happy to play the game. I'm like, damn, I feel bad for you, but man, this is like the most fun I've had in forever, just logging into the game. So yeah, I'm happy to be here, happy to be an Iron Man too, like you said. It's definitely the best way to play.
Oh yeah. Awesome. Well, that was very wholesome. I was expecting some like deep gripes that you've just been balled
Yeah,
up,
I
but
hate this game. I don't know why I play.
No,
Yeah.
no, this game is amazing, man. I kind of do wonder where we would be at with RuneScape if EOC was never brought to light. Would we
we'd be
still
in
be
a
playing
we'd be in a
R's
dark
two?
place, dude. I wouldn't. I
It
would have
like
never played RuneScape. I'd be fucking homeless. I don't know. Just,
yeah,
Yeah, we don't need to go down that path.
yeah. Say we on the side of the road.
yeah, you'd be holding the fucking cardboard sign like, please drop a 5-pack. Yeah,
We
no.
could,
I mean, real talk. Like, I would not be playing RuneScape because I quit from 2007 to 2015. The only reason I started playing RuneScape was my roommate in Las Vegas when I was selling solar door to door, and he just got me back into it. And I would have resisted it, but he told me no, it's the exact game we had in 2007. I was like, okay, I'm sold. So
Dude, you could be the CEO of like a solar company at this point. Maybe it could have
no,
been
I
good.
would not have. Oh my god, the solar culture, or not solar sales culture, door to door sales culture is awful. Hated that. Your whole your your whole status is just tied to money. Like, just oh my god, it's just how much money you making. You know, like it was just money, money, money. It's like fucking hey, dude, this is awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we do have it good. Any thoughts about some of the systems we have in place? You know, I want to just briefly touch on CAs. How you guys feel about, you know, Zuck helm upkeep and things? Do you feel like the tasks are appropriate, like appropriately, I guess, measured for difficulty? And do you? Yeah, let's hear.
it's really. I'm gonna be arrogant here, but it's really hard to for me to say, "Hey, this task is too easy. Hey, this task is way too difficult. Why is it in the game?" Because I mean, I've been upkeeping Zuckhound for what 4 years now. I get it pretty much the week the new boss comes out, and I don't ever find any truly difficulty in doing it. So it's really hard for me to say if there's a very difficult task. Maybe there was maybe some annoying ones. Obviously, like I think one of the what's it called, the Coliseum ones where you had to get three specific invocations just to get the task was kind of annoying because you would just wouldn't roll bees or something like that. That was kind of annoying. Stuff like that, yeah, it's whatever. But as for upkeep, I personally don't think it's too difficult. What about you, Greg?
Yeah, I don't think it's more the difficulty because I'm with you there. I don't think anything's been challenging since like Perfect Top on release, but it's more so just the fact that you have to go and do these things over again for content that you've probably already completed. It's definitely a chore. And I know you feel that way too, Sae Bae, about redoing stuff and just constantly being in a cycle of getting it back, like you had it before. Um, I don't mind it too much just because normally the CAs aren't too hard, but you know, if there was some sort of way to lock in your CAs, once you get them, you have them, you're good. But if you want to continue to do them again when new ones come out, you get some sort of like additional thing. Um, yeah, I'm not too bothered by it.
Nice. Yeah. And I know many people kind of feel the same. Where if you've already achieved Zuckhelm, there's a lot of people that are they just accept it for what it is. It's probably the cleanest system we have right now. Where whenever things come out, you just add it on. You got to do it. It is what it is. You know, I wish there was some sort of alternate system that really just somehow functioned properly and was also clean. But
So,
yeah.
I want to touch on one thing.
Hmm.
I do think a great update that they could add to it is if, like, let's say you're doing array CAs. If you complete every CA except for the KC CAs, I think it should just autocomplete at that point.
Oh yeah. Oh
Clearly,
yeah.
you know what you're doing. you've already done like all these hard ones, especially like the top ones. If you can get perfect theater, why do you need to do what is it, like 150 TOBs or whatever? I don't see a point in that. I think it's just making you waste time,
Hmm.
just clearing for no
Yeah,
reason.
there's no value in doing that sort of stuff. Like once you have done a perfect top, you are very good at top. Like you can't leech that. So why do I need to perfect the raid and then just do it 100 more times? There's no point.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just one of those things where it feels like a lot of filler stuff. And I think it all comes from a good place. It's not like the devs just hate us. I mean, they're trying to cater this game to a large player base. So killing a fire giant, yay, we got your dopamine. Here's your one combat thing.
I think that Superior Slayer perk, I think it could be lowered to the least hard tier. I don't see why it needs to be at the elite level, especially since most of the time it's low level players working their Slayer up just to get to those higher Slayer monsters to unlock those CAs, anyways.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a good point. I think players that are getting their elite tier are killing like Hydra and stuff. If you're like a main, you're not really killing any more superiors, really. You're just killing bosses. So that superior unlock is just kind of wasted if you're not using it. So hard tier makes sense, maybe even medium, in my opinion.
yeah.
Maybe mediums like 150, 1 in 150. Was it 1 in 100 at elite? Yeah, just give 1 in 100 to
No, I think
hard or
I think it
whatever.
just goes to 1 in 150. Pretty sure. Maybe I'm
Is it
wrong.
150?
I could be
I have
wrong on
no
that.
idea.
Um, Yeah, no, I think just perks in general are just one of those things where it's like, oh, like you want it. You definitely want to incentivize doing, it's getting some sort of reward for these systems besides just cosmetic. However, there always is that argument I hear, like, Blood Torva, you didn't need to add any stats for Blood Torva to be a very worthwhile thing to go for. Like, just, this is fucking fun. It even costs money to do it. I mean, you got to buy the orbs if you're a main, but people still do it for the flex. Like, it is cool and it's purely cosmetic. And I think, you know,
Yeah.
it's just,
I think those really hard PVM challenges for flex like Inferno and Blood Torv and Zuckhound. I think those are just enjoyable things to go for, just to flex. I think this game is just really revolved around like, hey, I got this item. I want you guys to look at me with it.
yeah. And yeah. And so, again, we already have these systems in place. We have the rewards in place for these combat achievements. So, even having these discussions, I bring this up a lot. And I know my audience probably hears it a lot, me talking about this kind of stuff. But I just worry about future stuff as well, on top of CAs, with all these perks. What if a completionist came out? Are there going to be perks to that? If so, I can call right now that there's going to be a lot of resentment toward low level updates because there's going to be this constant whining and moaning that these
Going back and
fucking
doing old stuff
fucking
when you don't want
Basilogist
to do it
whining
anymore.
on Twitter again that he has to do this boss again to upkeep his thing, and just going to be a lot of that.
Oh, the Basilogist tweets are gold, man. You ever scroll through the comments when he tweets?
Yeah, no, they're great. They're entertaining.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Thoughts on a comp cape? Do you guys want it? Do you want it to have perks? Let's hear it.
I don't even know what perks you would give the comp cape at this point. I feel like the max cape is the comp cape. Unless the comp cape becomes just, the new best in slot cape, which I really hope not. Um, I really like the different capes, like with Inferno and the quiver. I think they're really unique and they look good individually. Um, but I do kind of like the idea of a completionist cape, but maybe instead of a cape, maybe it's just a list or like something you can flex off. I don't know.
Greg?
Um, I do like the idea. I don't want it to have any perks whatsoever. I think we were just talking about Blood Torva. I think that is proved that if there's something like prestigious in the game that will cost you a lot of time and money, people will still go for it regardless.
Mm-hmm.
And in with the topic of a completionist cape, let's say like you need X amount of collection logs, like maybe like 1,500 to get like the highest tier. Like you're benefiting your account so much by playing that much and getting that amount of content done. I don't think you need perks at that point. You've already built a crazy account and gotten
Yeah.
so many items already, it doesn't need much. If it get perks, I would vote no. I'll go for it regardless, but it shouldn't have anything tied to it.
Alright.
Nice. Okay, this is very random, but you know that moon helm that came out from Varlamore?
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah.
That is a hot topic, and I want to get your guys' overall opinions. And if you guys just want to briefly describe how it works for those that don't understand just how many hours this is, and that it isn't untradeable.
It's an insane amount of hours. So the tooth half of a key you can only get from bosses and I think mobs in the Moxie dungeon. Can you get it from regular mobs? I'm not entirely
The
sure.
ice
I know.
Naguas drop it, yeah, at a
Okay. Okay.
crazy rate.
Yeah, and then so Moxie, Huey, they're the only bosses that drop it at this moment. And then you get the tooth half from the skilling in the dungeon. I'm not
Loop
sure
half.
entirely. Loop halves, yeah, sorry. Loop half from skilling in the dungeon. I'm not entirely sure what the rate is for that one either because I've never gone for any of them. And then you combine the keys, and you go and open this vault inside the dungeon. And I think the helm is 1 in 200,
400.
400, 400.
Yeah.
It's an
And
insane amount of hours. And people who are against clogging, I know really want it to be on the clog. I think it would be really funny to upset the cloggers if they added it. So I would say add it.
what is the case against it? Just I feel like there's already third age on the clog, and why? And I know this is probably even more rare than going for, I would say unspecific piece of third age, definitely, but I don't know actually the rate of going for a specific piece. This helmet's fucking rare, but I feel like it should personally be in the log. Greg, thoughts?
Yeah,
And
the case being made for it not to be on the log is being made by a very, very small amount of players.
Like
And those
less than
players
100
want,
probably,
yeah,
yeah.
those players want to finish the log. And let me
Mm.
say, I'm a collection logger. I want to get as much done, but I believe that everything you can collect in this game should be on the log.
yeah, it makes
I'm not
Let's
saying like an
add
iron arrow drop from like mole or something, but every unique
uh,
item.
I mean, might as well add bounty hunter rewards as well.
Yeah, I
And
agree
the
with that.
hats. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm I love this moon helm. I looked it up on Reddit so much because I was very curious about it when it came out.
Yeah.
And like I'm reading like the rates because the wiki doesn't have rates right now for the skilling part. They have no idea what's going on with that. But I've been looking all over Reddit for like how often people are skilling and how many pieces they're getting. It sounds like you get the skilling pieces quite a bit. It's just the PVM part that's really a pain. Um, I did 7,500 to Mox Seattle. I got two pieces of the key.
What?
Two
That's
pieces.
it, bro.
Yeah.
I've killed 20 and I already have a piece.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think you guys super lucky because I
But it says it's a
yeah,
1 in 500 on there. Well, it says roughly. I
Yeah,
guess
I got
it's
unlucky. Like very unlucky.
Yeah,
okay.
freaking
I,
A.
I picked up every key. I'm going to my bank right now. Let me see how many I got.
But I'm
I got 20, so I got right at the rate.
Okay. Yeah.
20.
You got two? Are you
I
sure
got
you picked them
two.
up? Did you just like accidentally not pick it up and
My
leave?
log has two.
What the fuck, dude? That is bad.
Dude, so you telling me what you're 7,500 and you
Yeah.
missed 13 keys? Like you didn't get
I
13?
should have got 15.
Yeah, it's 500.
Oh man.
If you're 7,500, are you
All right,
7,500
let's
KC?
keep it off the log, man. I'm not gonna get it.
Bro, that is fucked.
You never
No.
know. You only need one key.
Yeah. Only
Dude,
one.
I'm obsessed with this helm. It's funny you brought it up.
It's so cool.
I want to get it. Like even if it's not on a log, I want that helm.
Mm-hmm.
I would wear that
So,
everywhere
Oh,
because I've
yeah.
never seen one.
Dude,
It's super cool.
I want it really bad. I think there was a Rendy video. He was explaining it a bit. It's the only reason I was correcting you, Creel, just because I would just like watch the video. But you,
oh, you're fine.
yeah. And I think it's 1 in 400. That rate could not even potentially be. I don't know if it was confirmed or not. I'd have to check. But I mean, it's just a ridiculous amount of hours, like an insane amount, and it's an untradeable helm. So this is not something that's worth bills or anything. This is just purely if you get it, You wear that
Oh,
fucker everywhere.
that is cool. Actually, I didn't know it was. So the keys aren't tradable either, right?
Everything's untradeable. Yeah,
Oh yeah, add it, please.
I'm pretty sure, right? Those keys have to be untradeable, right? Let me just look them
Yeah,
up.
they're untradeable for
Okay.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a wild thing. And I'll be honest, I'm a huge fan of this system. I think they had a discussion on Reddit kind of talking about what are your thoughts on this kind of thing, Just should this feels like Jar of Darkness all over again in a weird way, where you have
Yeah,
something that's so absurd. It is different than a Jar of Darkness, of course, because having a jar that's completely out of whack with all the other jars feels a little bit odd. But I don't know. I'm kind of a fan of this kind of system. This is exactly going back to Mod Arcane's philosophy. He loves Giga Rare. I'm pretty sure he's probably the one that made it so fucking rare because he loves the just like this is impossible to get. If you get it though, you're a Giga Chad and super
Yeah.
lucky.
you wasted your lottery ticket on this
Yeah,
instead. Congrats.
I like it though. And it just looks so like basic, but it looks like something you would get. It looks like a renewal mask or whatever that
what's
thing is called, like just some
what is
basic
what's this?
thing.
Is it called Moon of the Helm or Helm of the Moon or whatever? What is it called? I've
Ooh,
never
So
seen this item.
Moonlight fanatic helm, I think.
it's called
Something
Helmet
like
of the
that.
Moon.
Oh.
Helmet of the
Helmet
Moon,
of
and
so
it's
goofy
fucking
looking.
adorable, dude.
I can say some. Imagine you pull up to a fashioncape contest with that item, and the host knows what that item is, and you're just coming here to flex.
Bro, dude, I'm just okay. So, like on Sae Bae, you got the plate legs, plate body, kite shield, but I'm missing a helmet slot. I mean, I'll wear the Dragon Full helm anytime, but like, dude, if I had this with
That's
it,
unbeaten flex right
oh
there.
my
Like
god, dude.
Dude, imagine that with full third age melee.
Dude, the thing is like that is the one thing that kind of calls me back to Sae Bae is, because my goal for so long, and I've said it years, it's like I would love to be, part of it was like to be the first. It's not really the goal. The goal is to get a full piece of, or a full set of third age. A classic set of third age would just be an insane achievement. And it's something where, ultimately I'm not that much closer to it because you're still going for a specific piece of third age at this point, which is incredibly
Mm.
rare, but at least it is just a hard piece. You can get it from all the tiers or hard, elite, and master, but like that's one thing that always kind of calls me back is like completing that goal. But man, it is exhausting thinking about how many clues you would need to do to
Yeah, you could go
get
10
lucky one
years
more time.
dry for that.
Yeah. And the thing is like it's almost like really diminishing returns because I already have such a nice fashioncape going without the helm. I mean, when I pulled those plate legs, I remember waking up the next morning and like I could not believe it.
Uh,
Like
You have legs, top,
wild.
and shield, right?
Yeah. And so when you wear the Dragon Full helm and the prims, it's just like,
Uh,
oh, I need a weapon though. That's the other thing. If I had a long sword or something. Dragon Warhammer
yeah,
does the trick, but yeah.
you just get a
yeah,
quick
just a
longsword.
long
Not,
sword.
Just a
not a problem.
quick little
Let's pick
long.
it
Dude,
up.
our friend got the long sword, and that is the coolest fucking item. I swear, it's
So
so
cool,
cool.
so badass. I wish it was four tick, just so you could maybe. I mean, it's not like it matters. Nobody's using their third age, but
Yeah.
um,
Get a skimmed a
yeah,
longsword upgrade and an Iron Man go crazy.
Imagine that's your best in slot as a third age long sword on an iron.
badass, so badass. Um, what are you guys looking at, clue wise? Like, do you guys have any third age? Have any gilded? I guess
Yeah.
gilded.
Oh,
Yeah. I know
so
you both
speaking
did, but I want
of
to hear it. Yeah.
yeah, so speaking of like clues and stuff, that collection log thing's coming out kind of soon where you can use old items as an Iron Man, old
Hmm.
items that you've already achieved that have value on the collection log to unlock it. And I was kind of going through my log, and I'm missing like four gilded items and a third age item I'm about to check off the log. And that's actually an insane amount of hours that are about to
That's
be saved.
that's gonna be sexy.
Yeah. So I'm setting up the mage helm and the mage or third age amulet. I don't know if that's part of the mage set or not, or if that's just a Generic item.
I think it is part of it because there's
Mage,
no
mage something bonus.
yeah, it's part of the 4-piece classic set.
I gotcha.
If you consider that, I'm a purist when it comes to my third age. I'm very. I'm
Yeah.
even I'm a purist when yeah, I saw some bastardization of some guy on Reddit saying he got full gilded on his Iron Man. It's like a fucking chain body, a med helm, like a fucking square shield. So it's just like,
Hey, a faker.
yeah, so like you fucking bastard. No, no, that is not the classic gilded set. The classic is the 4-piece. You could substitute the skirt for the plate legs, but ultimately the plate legs definitely look better. But yeah,
I'm with you there. I just finished the classic set last year,
let's go.
and like kite shield scimitar boots as well, like the full
Yes.
setup. And if I see someone with a chain body, I'm just gonna laugh at them. You're not
Yeah.
real.
The chain body, don't get me wrong, is actually my favorite standalone gilded. I think it just looks so fucking cute. It looks like a little pineapple. Like you turn yourself into a pineapple, basically. But yeah, it's not part of the classic set for sure.
Yeah.
You know what they really need to do? They need to allow you to. They should even make it like a clue. So you know how when you attach a rune defender kit to a rune defender, it turns gold.
Yeah.
They need to do that with rune gloves. Make it so rune gloves turn into gilded gloves. They need some ornament kit for that because then you could. I don't like wearing the yellow gloves when I'm rocking my gilded. I want the gilded gloves.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I can see that. I think that'd be pretty interesting. Adding a clue reward for an RFD gloves. Why not? I mean, no
Yeah,
one's using real gloves anyways.
they're pretty fucking badass.
Yeah, I think we're overdue a clue expansion to screw over the collection loggers. I
That's
say we do
that.
it.
That is a whole nother topic.
Yeah, it's a very divisive topic for sure.
Oh
How
yeah.
how does it work? How are we going to go about that? Or are
We
we?
need some. We need some third age boots, third age square shield, third age harpoon. They could add so much.
I love that third age crossbow and the third age boots. I'm a
Oh, did
huge.
someone do like some fan art?
Yeah,
And
there's a fan art of the third age D-hide shield with the third age crossbow and the third age boots. And the boots, they don't have wings attached to it, but they look so classy, like just so good.
oh yeah, you think the new enraged boss boots drop is going to make them have wings? Make them have like six wings on each boot.
I'm hoping not. That now we have two separate discussions going on because the boots was an idea that I was definitely jumping on board. Definitely not my original idea. People were talking about consolidating items into one as a sort of mega rare, and I think adding it to this new delve boss is brilliant. I know there's been some people in my comments that are saying this is fucking weird. What are we going to do with the future of boots? Once you consolidate, there's really no going back because well, there is going back technically. You could just come out with okay, now we have the best in slot new prims, the new melee boots, and now you have the kind of Barrows gloves equivalent of boots with this delve boss system. But now 5 years later, you have these new boots that are even better, and then you just repeat the cycle in a way. But what are your guys' thoughts of having all your boots, like your boot needs in one slot?
I think it would make places where you need multiple boots a lot more enjoyable because eight-way switches every like other attack is not it. Con- on a consistent like multiple hour grind or whatever you're doing, it gets pretty tiring really quick. So that's just one extra less switch. Um, I think well, like you said, the boot upgrades. I like how they're taking the approach of using older items and not having them lose value. So like how we went from dragon boots to prim boots. Now we need to go from prim boots to the new best in slot boots. I really like that idea as well. Yeah. How about you, Greg?
Yeah, I'll say to start that saving that inventory spot and lowering your switches is awesome. I do like that. I know a lot of players will like that too. But I think just combining the three of them, like conceptually, is super weird to me. I, it's never been like this before. It's hard for me to wrap my head around it. Like like I said, I played private servers for like 8 years. It just feels like a private server item, you know? Like
Yeah.
you just wear this one boot, it does everything for you. besides Barrow's gloves, I can't think of any other item that does that. Like you just camp that item. And I know Barrow's gloves aren't the gloves you wear anymore, but they used to be just the one thing you wear for all styles. It's weird to me, but I don't feel strongly enough to be against them really, because I know it's just gonna be nice for quality of life.
Yeah, I think that's, there's always going to be downsides to these kinds of things, but I do always think about the future of the game too, because again, like it's going to be kind of weird to have this combo boots, and then are we going to break free from it eventually and go back to the individual? It just comes down to like practicality, and I think the practicality of not having to use boot switches. Again, this is a big ask, though. I mean, most people, you have to grind out all the serb boots, and you have to grind out this fucking delve boss like to get it. Like this is a big, huge achievement to get, and I think it's actually warranted to have something super powerful like this. And I like one, oh, there's two branches I want to go off. One is, so these new boots that are coming out have +1 range strength to it. And I think if they're going to do that, they need to make that a change to Pegasians right now. Like, once this comes out, give Pegasians +1 range strength as well. Make it so
Yeah.
these boots are just exactly the combination of these three. So it almost is basically just like Barrow's gloves in a way, where it's just like,
Okay.
there's nothing that's going above and beyond. I don't want these new boots to just, now these are actually the best in slot range boots. Like, let us still have the best in slots for each style from Serb, as is, and then just have the combo boots as well. That's how I think.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that the other day. I reckon that the update day, they're just gonna give Prims that bonus.
Or yeah,
And or not
pegs.
Prims, sorry, pegs,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And no one's gonna bat an eye because the people that are able to get the new boots, they just get the new boots. And the players that can't afford them and they have pegs, they still benefit. So I think it just happens.
Yeah. Yep. I hope so. That would be a really positive change.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Let's see. Sailing. We got to talk about this. This is something, as
Ooh.
you guys are both completionist ironmen. What are your overall thoughts on this? Are you optimistic, pessimistic right now? What are your overall thoughts, and are you going to be grinding it to like on release? Are you going to try to compete at all? I don't know if you guys are necessarily 200 mil, completionist
Mm,
or anything, but
I don't think we would stand a chance in a 200 mil race for that, but yeah,
You get
uh,
smoked.
yeah, it wouldn't even be. It would be funny. But you can start, Greg.
Um, I want to ask first, did you ask us the darts last time?
yeah, we touched on sailing a little bit, mainly just focused on like who's gonna be the rank one, and how does the whole 200 mil all people, how does that all get figured out? If is Hey Jace just gonna lose his permanent rank two? Is
Uh,
Link's Titan? But other than that, just kind of talking very surface level about it.
okay, cool. I think from my perspective, I have what I've been calling a new content buff. Like whenever something comes out, I'm just grinding it nonstop, regardless of what it is. Like beginner clues came out, I grinded them nonstop. I was like rank one for like a week, just killing
Holy
goblins, just having
shit!
fun. And
Except for
like
when
10
Charlie
frost,
came up. Fuck Charlie. They
yeah,
fixed him though.
ate his ass. But yeah, the new content buff is gonna hit like crazy for sailing. Um, I know I've watched every Q&A and I've been listening to like the Discord conversations they have about them. I know that every person developing it right now like has their full heart into developing a good skill. I know that 100%. So I back them. I know they're going to do something great. They're going to have our feedback through it the whole way through. They're not going to release anything that we haven't seen, we haven't tried. So they will release the best version of sailing that can possibly be released. And I'm not against it. I was never against a new skill. I'm happy to do another skill. I'm happy to lose my max cape if I have to. It's all good. I'm just super happy to see it come in. I'm very curious what the final product will be.
Krill.
Yeah, I'm just going to touch on losing the Maxcape as well. I think when sailing does come out, if you only have one Infernal Maxcape, well, unlucky, bro. But yeah, Uh, yeah, that sucks. Go get another one if you don't want to get sailing the 99. Um, I think it's going to be a great idea. I'm always like for new updates as well. I think they're going to do a great job with it. I I don't play like on day of release when stuff comes out because I'm an office goer. So I'm just going to hope the day that it gets released, everyone's saying all these positive things and how all this is going to change the game for the better, and it's just not a complete mess on release. But I think from what Greg said has been saying in our Discord that it's going to be a positive change, and the content that's revolving around it is going to be really good.
Yeah, I
Maybe
yeah, no. You have anything else?
maybe some really cool island exploration, some new crafting, wood cutting, just a bunch of different mining like resources that are going to come into the game is going to really shake up the metas as well.
Yeah, it's that's a lot of the stuff that people are looking forward to is not the actual sailing, but just the extra stuff that's not even related to sailing, just the extra
Hmm.
islands and explorations
Yeah.
and dungeons and stuff and bosses. But yeah, I have a lot of trust in the team, especially the people working on it directly. Mod Husky has been a huge part of that and trying to get movement right. I mean, he designed Sepulcher. I have a lot of trust in him, and that was years ago as well. So he's gotten even more experience since. And yeah, the whole thing is just it's got to feel good. And they've made some really positive changes just over the last several months of like getting rid of some of the stuff that you just know is not going to be fun long term. Like it's cool to have a 5-minute demo of like, look, you got to do all this weird shit and do all this. You move over to your sales and click 3 times over here. It's like, no, you just got to simplify it. I like how they've simplified it, at least in the last showcase they were showing, where it's just like you just click the sales, you just click it, and not it doesn't even necessarily punish you for not doing it. It just gives you a little bit of like a speed boost, basically, or something like that, which feels good. And they're trying to capture the fun in sailing, and I really hope that when we play it, it's gonna just feel good because. Yeah, I'm one thing I am a little bit terrified of though is just even if they were to, and I've said this before, even if they were to perfectly do everything they possibly could to make the skill as best as we could all, you know, see it
For
becoming.
it to be, yeah.
Yeah, like people would still be resentful of it because they're now obligated to train it straight up, and a lot of people don't like feeling forced to do certain things. So, and again, this will be a lot of like the max cape people losing their max cape and feeling like, okay, well, I can't continue with my goal I wanted to do because I have to do sailing. So it's just gonna be a subconscious part of just like, this sucks. I want to get this over with. I want to go back to what I wanted to do, and I feel like that's just gonna be an unfortunate consequence. But there's nothing
Yeah,
you
like
can do
those
about it.
people are hard to please. I don't think you can do
Oh,
anything to
impossible. Yeah, it's
make it.
impossible to please.
Yeah, the only thing you can do is try and release the best skill possible to make their pain a little bit less, and I think
It's
that's what they're
true.
already doing.
It's
I
true.
think they've also just haven't given a fair chance. They're just they just reject new updates altogether.
Yeah, Husky at the end of one of the last Q&As, he had like a little ramble or rant that I still remember because it sounded like really passionate, basically saying just give it a chance because no one has tried it yet. He knows 100% they're going to be releasing something good, and I'm sure a lot of people that hate it right now are going to change their minds on day one for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. Okay, let's see. Any topics you guys have? I think I've kind of like exhausted the list of the big ones I had.
Yeah, I think speaking of Husky, I think he just recently had a game jam with the collection logs staff and book to show off how many collection logs you've achieved, with the tier system with it.
Mm.
What are your thoughts on that? I know you had a little ramble on it, but
Mine is all about it needs to be static upgrades and it needs to be this endless sort of system that feels right. So right now we have the what Husky's proposing, and he's gotten a lot of feedback. So this isn't just all his ideas. He's really trying to capture the community, and get them involved. But it's thematic with leagues where there's bronze rank up to dragon, But the problem with that, in my opinion, is that these ranks are ever changing. So Dragon might be 1490, and then in a couple more months it'll be 1498, and then it'll raise up to 1520 in a couple years, and it's just endless thing where you keep losing it, regaining it, kind of. I like the system better where it's Roman numerals, where you hit 100 clogs, you got the I on your book with some cool theme going on. And then at 500, you have the V. At 1,000, you get the X. At 1,500, you get the XV, and so forth. And it can continue. So there's almost a desire for more updates to come out because you want to hit that next threshold. So there's not going to be this resentment of a new thing coming out. Well, I just lost my rank. Fuck this. Like, got to go regrind it. It's an endless thing, and so updates can continually be pumped out, and it's a positive. And regards to perks, I don't think there should be any perks other than one universal perk that once you get the default clog at 100, or once you get the default book or whatever at 100, you have the perk that it has. Maybe it's a teleport. I even suggested years back of them introducing some teleport charges using clue god pages. So you chuck the god pages in there and it acts as a teleport charge to maybe a few locations. I mentioned libraries, potentially Zaya Library and maybe Varrock Museum, the teleport there or something. But yeah, I want to hear your thoughts, Greg.
I'm fully with you with the static numbers. That's what I thought it would be. I guess it's not going to be like that.
Right
Is
now,
that
it's
what you're saying?
not. It's going to be bronze through dragon. There's like 7 different ranks or something. And
And every update's going to change the number you need
yep, and
to
it's
get that.
always going to be jagged. It's always not going to be a clean number.
Yeah, it's gonna be like, oh, I just got bronze at 411. Oh, that's a little high,
Exactly.
but yeah, it seems weird to me. For me specifically, most of my collection logs right now are just coming from new updates. Like I'll get a pet here and there, but then Varlamore Part 15 drops, and I've got 29 new slots that have come from random things. But even though I'm getting that buff, whenever I hit a new milestone like 1400, it just feels great. And having an item to signify that would probably make it feel even better. Um, so I'm down for it to be the tiers. I hope they reconsider, but it sounds like they're probably not taking much feedback, so I don't think we're gonna get it like that. But yeah, not a fan.
Yeah. Do you have any further thoughts, Creel, on that? Now that you know my position.
So yeah, the I do like the idea of it going from dragon rank to Roman numeral rank. I think it'd be just cleaner overall, easier transition. Where like, oh well, we're already at 1,500. Oh, we just hit 1,600 new for total collection log slots. I just need to add a 16, and you don't lose your 1,500 rank. Yeah, I think that works better. That way you already have that unlocked, and you're not losing your highest level or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I also really don't like the idea of a collection log staff and book with it because you're not really showing it off anywhere other than bank standing and maybe some skilling areas.
Mm.
I prefer the idea of a title next to your name in game, like how there is an RS3 or even other MMOs like World of Warcraft. And I think Final Fantasy has titles as well. So like, let's say you complete like an entire collection log for Warcraft, you get a title that signifies that you completed that collection log.
Mm.
Instead, that way you can right click someone's name. You say, "Hey, this guy has completed the Warcraft collection log." Because also another thing, you don't really show off pets anymore. No one really carries them around in like raids or where they're doing PVM. They just kind of sit in the POH. I think it'd just be a lot cleaner system. And I think it could evolve from outside collection log as well. Like you could add these for skilling as well. Like let's say you get like 99 fire making. You get a title, like a blue title that gives you like Fire Lord or something like that for fire making. They're like, oh, we can evolve this even more. Hey, you just got one level, virtual level 120 fire making. We're going to upgrade your title from blue to purple. Oh, you just got 200 million in your fire making. It's going to go to gold now to show that you've achieved that 200 mil instead of having someone look you up to show that you've achieved 200 mil. It's just a
Mm.
cleaner way of showing this off. And I also think we can get super specific and granular with this. We can give titles to people who get rank 1 in deadman mode for the entire year until the next MMO. They have their own specific title just for them. I think that'd be really cool. Or you can give it to someone that has the world records speed time for like Hunlift or Inferno, and only they have that title. I think that'd be really cool and something that people could go for because no one knows that if someone has like a super unique title like that. Like, no, I don't think most people know that like Rostman has the world record Inferno in the game. But if he could run around the game and show that off, I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, no, I'm on board with that. So how does it work? You just have a bunch of titles. If you've collected a bunch of titles, you just choose the one that you most want to
Yeah,
represent.
yeah. You just interchange them out like
Okay.
however you want. So let's say you get Grandmaster. You can have a title that says Grandmaster, and you've unlocked that, and then you can show that off in case you don't have your Zuck helm anymore. Or
Ex Grandmaster, I'd flex that. Fuck yeah.
yeah, why not X Grandmaster?
Failed Grandmaster, yeah.
But I do think they would
That's
also
cool.
need. I do think that they would also need to add a in-game setting to where you could turn off the display of titles because
Of
I
course.
feel like some people would be against it.
Oh yeah.
And I can see how like if some of these titles are so ridiculously long, they're taking up the chat box, or if you're right clicking someone, it's just so long. And then I think it'd be better if you just disable them like that as well.
Yeah. This is a topic for reference. Me and Creel have talked about extensively over the past couple weeks. And I think we both feel that it's like the least intrusive way to show like things you've collected. Like, especially with the toggles. Like, if you don't want to see it, yeah, you don't need to see it. But like title sort of thing kind of derives from leagues. In leagues, they have like the trophy you got in the previous season next to
Mhm.
your name. And I would find myself like right clicking people's names to see what
Yeah.
kind of gamers have got what status last time, and I can already feel that having a huge range of titles would be super cool, especially if you run into the one of one like Inferno world record holder title. Like that's just a crazy thing to see in game.
Yeah. I'd be down with that. I'm also, sort of along these lines. Collection log high scores. When is that going to be a thing?
I
The official
Couple weeks,
correct,
I think.
correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't that not in the works?
Yeah, yeah,
probably
it
is.
is.
Yeah.
It's coming out whenever we get the books and stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
That's going to be huge. We just the official nature and just the number. You don't need to focus on time to completion or whatever. Just give us the number.
Yeah. The other site can exist to view other people's
Yeah.
logs if
Yeah.
you're curious.
Oh,
But yeah,
I'm so curious when it comes out. I want there to be an absolute demon at the top of the page, like that's above Marnie or something
That's
like that,
not.
and
That's not.
no one knows he existed at
There's
all.
no fucking way anybody would be that
You
much of a
can
goof.
you can kind of see if someone could possibly be
Hey, just
above
look at
them
the
if you just
clues.
go
You
to
just, you just look at the
yeah,
clue high scores right now.
yeah, but just the thought that that could happen is
Yeah.
just kind of funny to me.
I'm hoping for it. Like, not,
Yeah,
I know there's not going to be a rank one, but I'm hoping somewhere in the top 10, just some random guy who no
Yeah.
one has heard of is just like, hey, I have 1,500 logs.
Isn't
I've never spoken to anyone before.
isn't Flash Voyage that guy that isn't on the collection log high scores? I know. No,
Yeah.
he's probably not up there in the top 10. I don't know, but I know he's done like 200 fucking thousand mediums.
Yeah, he is up there only in clues. I'm going to look him up right now. But
Okay. He is on the site, or is he? I thought he was one of the people that isn't on the site, on the collection log site, unless he.
there's
he
some
wasn't
people that are on
before.
the
Oh, okay,
yeah.
maybe he's been added since.
Yeah, there's some people that aren't on the clog site that I know have really good that I really want to see their clogs. I know that who's that UIM with like 59 pets? He's not on the clog site.
Ultimate
I want
low.
to yeah, I want to see his clog so bad.
Yeah. What rank are you? I haven't even asked this. What rank are you guys for collection log Ironmen?
I think I'm 6.
I'm about to this year alone I'm about to skyrocket cuz I'm at 1321. I'm probably not even top 25. But yeah, I'm about to do everything. I don't even have any trouble brewing clogs right now. That's 30 clogs that I haven't done.
Nice.
So it
So
sounds like
I,
you're piss low, man. That's what I'm
Yeah,
hearing.
I'm pissed low.
yeah, I'm a casual.
You sound like it. all pets and not even top 10 clogs. What the fuck, man?
Yeah, I don't
Please
even
no
have all
drugs.
those notes from the myth dragons.
Yeah, I'm still missing one. I've been missing one of those notes for years. I just can't get it. The last one.
So yeah, I'm going to be working on that this entire year, just clogging like crazy and doing like all the new updates when they release instead of putting them off. Because now I'm not hard focused on pets anymore.
One
Yeah,
thing
you're
I
liberated.
also failed to mention was, friend, you're just absolute leagues grind set that you have.
Oh yeah.
Fucking A, man. That was
Sometimes I forget about that.
it was just you're just completely dissociated the whole time. No, no, no. Can we just relive that briefly? So this was the not this league that's currently going on, the past one, correct?
Yeah, the last one it's still going right now, but I've been busy with work, so I wasn't able to compete. But the previous one, the Trailblazer Reloaded, I got rank one by like, this is about to sound ego. Only one other person, Ois Bakalia, I'm sure you're familiar with that
Oh
name.
yeah,
He's a beast. Um, Only two people capped their points. Uh, they were the three raids regions, so it's like a lot of like KC grinding and stuff. But yeah, once leagues blows around, I pretty much drop everything just to grind it out. Um, I did it in the previous one, which was the Shattered Relics as well. Um, I got rank one in that one as well, but
Jesus,
um,
I didn't know that. What the fuck? You got what,
Wait,
twice in a
wait,
row?
wait! You're the woman kisser? No way!
yeah,
You never
I
told
played
me.
I played on an alt. Like so for that one, this was back when they didn't have a stance on the third party clients. Um, so I was playing on one because I mean I'll admit it, I was a client Andy back then, and I got into some risky plugins, the one-click agility plugin. Um, a big fan of that because you had to do 2,000 monkey laps, and
Big fan of
I
that.
gave in. Yeah, it's pretty much botting, man. I'll admit it.
To be honest, 2,000 fucking monkey laps in a temporary game mode is masochistic as fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even I broke, and I'm a freak, but I got a 2-day ban for that on the alt, and even with that time loss, I still finished rank one. But with the ban, they disqualified me and took my name off the list, which is,
Ah,
obviously fair.
I see.
So I don't consider that a rank one at all, even though
Very impressive.
my name was there.
Yeah.
But the one after that, played by the rules. They don't allow clients anymore. So um, Trailblazer Reloaded, yeah, I got rank one for that.
That was I just want to hear like exactly what went on. So how many hours did you have to play a day to secure that rank one? How many and what would you do? Like, were you just perma logged in and every time you went to sleep you had to have some sort of AFK activity going on? Like, what was it like the day to day, and how much of your own brain and just understanding, routes to take and everything else and just grinding everything efficiently had a role in securing that rank one?
Yeah, so for the gameplay, I mean, it really hurts to physically say this out loud, but um, average days were 19 to 20 hours and just sleeping
Holy
like 4 hours.
fuck.
Um, I my body gets kind of used to it. Like at no point during that did I feel like I'm extremely unhealthy, which is why I felt like I could continue. I know for some people, 4 hours of sleep is absolutely not
Oh yeah,
possible.
not possible for me.
Um, and I'll just say this right now, I don't recommend it. Like if you at any point when you're playing this game and competing and you feel like you are, like hurting in some way or like unhealthy, you need to just stop. And I don't think I hit that point. I kept myself healthy in how I play and like stretching and stuff. So
Mm.
um, no worries
Any
there.
any wrist problems at all? Just being, because I feel like just the fatigue of using a mouse repeatedly. I mean, hopefully you have some foot pedals for some things, but like,
Oh yeah.
is it just? I mean, how much are you just like uncomfortable? I mean, 4 hours, for a week, that's one thing. Sleeping just 4 hours a day for a week, that's probably potentially doable for the average person if they wanted to really dedicate themselves. But like, we're talking, how many weeks was that league? 8?
It
Or
was
how
8,
long did
but
it take for you to complete
I
it?
think I finished in 6 weeks.
Okay.
They
That's
had some long tasks there. Um, but as far as pain goes, I have never felt pain. I think I'm lucky to be in that position right now. You mentioned foot pedals. I've been using them for a couple years
Mm.
for things that are useful for them, and that's taken a lot of stress off my hands. And I do recommend that. I've probably clicked through like 10 of them at this point. They just keep breaking because I use them so much. But yeah, they're super useful. Um, but yeah, at no point during those 6 weeks did I feel like I needed to stop, pretty much.
Now, one thing I am envious of is just being able to, because you just sound, I mean, earlier you were saying just how much you fucking love this game. I mean, you're just,
Mhm.
you understand how good of a game we got. Is that the most fun you're having during leagues? Like, is that dopamine of like the competition, everything going, it's fresh. This is a brand new league. Are you just having the time of your life during that, or does it hit a point where you're like, now I just gotta fucking keep going, and I'm not having that much fun, but I've already this far, may as well just secure it.
Yeah, so for the Trailblazer League, that was the most fun I've ever had playing this game. Um, I think when it comes to me being given like a task list to do, that's what keeps me going. I love that sort of gameplay. That's why I like CAs and stuff like that. Just go do these things and you'll be rewarded in some way. I love that.
Mm.
That's probably why leagues kind of worked for me so well. Um, but yeah, most fun I've had the previous league for that the Shattered Relics. That one was not completable. The amount of tasks they give you is just way too much. And I think that one wasn't as fun for that reason, just because for those 8 weeks straight, it's just nonstop. You can't like let off the gas at all, or else you'll lose, sort of thing.
Mm.
But there was that point cap in Trailblazer, and when I hit that, it was like, all right, cool. I've done what I need to do, and I can be happy with that.
So the caps are essential for optimal fun, you would say, making sure there
Yeah,
is an end goal, even though obviously vast majority of people will not even get close to it.
yeah. It sounds like the cap is going to be what they do moving forward. Every league should probably be completable by the people that put in the large amount of time. At the moment, I think just looking at the regions that give the most points in the current league, I think 30 people have already capped their points.
Yeah.
So a full page of people
Jesus.
have already done that, and we've got what, like 2 more weeks left or something. So yeah,
11
they're gonna
days.
keep doing that. Oh, okay, 11 days. All right. Yeah,
That's
the point
wild.
cap's great. It helps me. I know a lot of other people that compete also enjoy that too.
You got a few third age on that, because I was watching your videos last leagues. Didn't you get a longsword, or am I misremembering?
Oh yeah, I think I had like 7 pieces or something.
Fucking A. Oh, it's
Yeah.
gotta hit. So it's just gotta like it sucks in a way, but like this, you still get that mild dopamine of like that looks nice.
Yeah, when I got those, I mean, coming into it, I know everything I get on this game is temporary and it's gone. So, like, before I opened any clues, I knew, like, if I got third age, I'm just not gonna be hurt by it.
Yeah,
So I think that helped too. Like, I can differentiate the main game from leagues. Like, I got a couple pets too I needed, and it didn't mean a damn thing to me really. But
yeah. Oh yeah,
um,
that's actually another question. Coxie's has always those temporary, series where he's going for the all leagues pets. Would you guys ever go for all leagues pets long term?
Um, no.
I would
There's
say,
one there's one Ironman that has like 50 pets or something like that. Andrew has a lot of
yeah,
pets.
I wanted to bring his name up because I'm super curious. I'm pretty sure has the most. I think he has 50 of the league's
Jesus.
pets. Um, he only needs a couple regions, so I think next time he'll just do those regions he needs, and then probably get almost all of them.
Unless like
Yeah.
some new pets come out and the regions he's already completed, yeah.
Yeah, assuming Varlamore gets more pets, he hasn't picked it yet, so he'll pick that
Oh, okay.
and knock those out. I forget the other region. I think it's Taranwin, like Gauntlet and stuff like that. He needs too. Um, but
Yeah,
I'll
probably
say
not.
if I started doing that since the beginning, I would definitely do it. I think it's a super cool thing. But for me, it's not a part of my completionism just because of how I play leagues at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, leagues is go for Dragon Cup and get the cool cosmetics for me type deal. It was fun going for top page in the league that Greg won, but that was a once a lifetime thing for me. I'm not doing that again. I enjoy just going for the Dragon Cup Rush and then just ending.
Yeah, that's fair. So is the recipe we got for leagues just perfect and it should never change? I mean, obviously there's changes to the tasks and changes to some of the minor systems, but just the areas and the relics and stuff, do you think they've hit just the perfect sort of recipe for this and they shouldn't waver from it?
No, they have not. And I'll tell you, Shattered Relics it gets a lot of hate, and I understand. I think it wasn't perfect by any means. Definitely, the swapping out of the relics was a disaster. That you had to be in a bank for it, and you didn't really have presets for it. You had to get a plugin to make presets, and then you had to level up the relics level 3 to make them worth anything. And I thought that was a really bad system. But when I don't know if you ever played, I don't know if you play Shadow Relics, but when you logged into Shadow Relics, most of your skills were locked, and you
Yeah.
had to get stages renowned to unlock them.
Mm-hmm.
And that alone makes it so unique and so cool that I think they need to revisit that. I think, but I can see them not doing that because leagues is supposed to, bring a lot of people in for and make them stay for a while, to obviously make money. That's the whole point. And when casual people, they're like 2 weeks into the league, you're like, this is way too slow, and they're quitting. And then they got the big, renown stimulus whenever they nerfed all the prices and stuff. And then you're just left over with like 1,000 renown and have nothing to spend it on.
Yeah.
Plus, you could skip quests with it. I think they need to bring some of those elements back and revise it and make it a bit better. But I think they have a lot of potential there. The Echo bosses, by far, their best update. Those are so insanely cool.
Mhm.
I just wish that you had to kill them a bit longer.
Mm.
I felt like I killed my Echo bosses on day 3 and I was done. How about you,
Yeah.
Greg? What are your thoughts on the current leagues and formula?
Yeah, I think they're getting closer to the best version it can be, but they're not there yet. But I also think it's a good thing they're not there yet because it gives them a chance for every league to have some sort of new thing that makes it
Mhm.
unique. Um, what they've been doing is also taking some of the best things from the previous one and
Yeah.
integrating it into the next one.
Oh.
For example, the relic that teleports you to places the last recall, like to any tile that you want, was just a one-off addition to one of the leagues. And then every player was like, hey, this is like the best thing ever. So
Mhm.
at that point, it was just added to every league after that too.
Yep.
So it'll be ever changing, and I think it's just going to get better every time.
It's cool knowing that they are getting better. I mean, Leagues 3 was the one off that they tried something completely different, but I guess Leagues 1 was also different. But
We don't
yeah.
talk about League One.
Yeah.
Then.
Hey, Leagues
It was
1,
bad.
Leagues 1
Ever,
brought Say Allo streams back. I was all about that, like
Oh,
that
did
was
it?
great.
Leagues One, the people that I don't care what they say, they are on the hard copium saying that was the best league.
No, I just
I,
love
I refuse to
the
believe
Walker
it.
meme, the people that actually didn't choose Run. Fucking
Yeah,
A.
it did have that meme. It was pretty good for that meme.
And then you had the meme of Casey getting his Bloodhound. That was great.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was so long ago.
I
Yeah.
know. The
unboosted
Then he
rate.
did like another 3,000 in the main game before he got it right.
It's something crazy. I don't know where he was at that point.
Dude,
And
that league
yeah,
items unboosted everywhere. TiVo's 1 in 1,000, man. No one's getting a TiVo.
dude, that's what was so great is say Allo rank 1 Ironman for so long. He you know pulls a Tebow super fucking early, and he's like, "Yo," he's on Twitter. He's like, "I just got a Tebow on leagues. I'm gonna go live." And I'm like, "Oh fuck yeah!" So we had those classic streams of him coming back and just playing. I miss that guy a lot. He definitely burnt out from RuneScape hard. He was
Yeah, he got hacked as well.
yeah.
If you're a boomer Ironman, you remember the Sayalo streams. They were
Oh yeah.
enjoyable.
Dude, I remember the hardcore when he made his like hardcore streams. Dude, did you guys watch back then like Lowlander and
Yeah.
Yep.
fucking Whim? Yeah, that
Remember
fucking
Lowlander like boosting bandos in some way. What
well,
was
that
he
was
doing?
Oh,
way long
flower
ago. Yeah.
boosting. Yeah, that was on his UIM.
Yeah, that was I was thinking more of his hardcore. Just like hardcore release for me, but that was just pure fun. I mean, I could not think of anything else other than logging in every fucking day and just playing and just having just locking in and every streamer, this is before I was ever streaming, every streamer was playing hardcore. You know, I was competing to the extent I could. I was pretty fucking pathetic. It was like my first ever Ironman experience. I was really newbie, inefficient. But, you know, ended up, I got perm banned for auto-clicking Alex, but I was ranked 39 at the time. This is like 4 months in, so I felt kind of like a Giga Chad, and just fucking good times. Those first few months were amazing.
Yeah, the whole competing thing. I mean, I feel you there. That's my league's appeal.
Yeah.
I think if hardcore were to come out today, I'd probably jump on that too for sure.
Yeah, that's why honestly I do want a brand new official game mode to just come out. I'm all about those fresh starts, but I love the permanence of it. As soon as it's gonna be deleted, I'm just not interested. So yeah, if they were to come out with some sort of new mode, oh
I kind of want them. I think you mentioned this before. Main account hardcore mode.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
that'd be kind of interesting to watch.
The more I've wanted it, I just heard one thing, I've mentioned this in probably like the last like fucking 5 or so casts in beyond that even, but it's, you know, it's that separate servers, hardcore main, everybody on the server is a main, everybody on the server has one life, and it's just awesome. The biggest downside though, and it's a big
The
one,
wilderness.
no, is the DDoSing. There will be DDoSing. There's no way to, it's just like, that would suck because right now, you know, you DDoS, it doesn't fucking matter. You have your gravestone, you just go back. Hardcores, you know, you just end up being an Ironman. But if this really wanted to be extreme, you'd have your account wiped. And, you know, doing something really dangerous, like if somebody wanted to do something crazy, just DDoS the world, you know, they would need some sort of system to prevent it. I don't know if that's even possible. It seems like it's always an arms race. It's just like it's not actually a preventable thing. But DDoSing would ruin the experience of that kind of game world. Unfortunate, but everything else sounds amazing.
Yeah, I heard you talking about it. I kind of wanted it to just be on the main game, like just hey, one day just drop it, and then it would start a whole new, you know, Twitch scene, YouTube scene, and people grinding for it and competing. I think it'd be awesome.
People would have a problem if it was in the main game, just because you just trade people. So basically, the competition's removed. It would be the same thing as having tradable leagues. You just have a league and everyone can trade. Just like you're just gonna. The competition's kind of out the window. I mean, there still is competition to be like, how much money can you transfer over, and help yourself out. So people would have an issue with that. I love the separate world vibe because there still would be that element of trading, but it is a fresh economy, so you can't just instantly pull out a whip or something. You'd have to go be the first one to grind it and sell it. I don't know.
I think for me, I still would want it in the main game because I know we've had leagues and stuff. We've seen what people can do when they're like self-sufficient, but I want to see, you know, which people have so much money and so much time. Like, how quickly
And alting
can
too.
we get to an end game?
Yeah. No, Coxie would go fucking nuts. He'd probably die day one, but
He would die.
yeah, but yeah, you would see some crazy thing. I would be down for that. You know, if that was what we had to settle with, 100%, and I'd be down with it. Plus, it would give me a chance to play a main, and also have that new, fresh competition, which would be fun.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it'd be fun. I mean, it just cuts out all the grinding for supplies and stuff as well.
Yep.
And I think that deteriorates or deters people from starting up Ironman because just the upkeep of supplies in general.
Okay.
And why not? It's not hurting anything. Just add it.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen, I've deeply appreciated these conversations. You guys are both fucking legends in my eyes, and you guys have some crazy fucking accounts, and it sounds like you guys are both still super dedicated, super motivated, even with Creel getting all pets and stuff. He's running those laps. And when do you expect, friend, to have completed all pets? Do you have any sort of goal in mind? Obviously, it's RNG, but is there some time frame?
If they don't release too many pets, I could probably do it in like a year and a half. You know, obviously the RNG, like you said, comes into play, but you know, maybe sometime next year I'll be done.
Hell yeah!
I think he finished this year if he locks in.
Yeah, just lock in, dude. You can do the 20. You can do the 20 hours a day. You said you proved it already. So just fucking.
Yeah, for a year, no problem.
All right. Well, down in the description for those listening, I'm gonna have Creel and Friends links down there. Their YouTubes. They both have great YouTubes. Very. I mean, Creel has just been for years just having just pure dopamine videos. I mean, it's just no bullshit,
Yeah.
no filler. Just here you go. Here's all the clogs I got. Fucking great.
I've been recording my account since 2019.
Jesus. They're great. So I'm gonna have both of your guys' links down below. I'll get them after the call. And guys, go show them some support. And thank you too for coming on today and chatting with me.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Awesome. Okay, guys, we will catch you in the next one. Again, if you want to support the cast, there is a Patreon link and a YouTube membership link down in the description. But next week, we're going to have 2 more casts. This month is going to be popping off with casts. So look forward to those. And I will catch you in the next one. Peace.